Cheers. Hello, everyone. We're really sorry that we've taken so long. I'm very sorry that we've taken so long. Don't ever use Streamlabs OBS. You heard it here first. But we are here. It's Thursday, and we are ready for another After the Fire. The finale, in fact. Isn't that right, folks?
Oh, sorry. Are we supposed to talk?
I mean, maybe.
The finale forever.
Yeah, it is the two of you at the
really,
moment.
we're coming back soon, right?
Yeah.
Coming back very soon.
Yeah.
Very
soon.
Charlie, when are we thinking of coming back? I can't remember now. Because we've got Gen Con.
We are thinking of coming back early August.
Yeah. So, because I've got Gen Con, finish the Kickstarter off of the Spy game, and then coming back in 6 months. Not like a year, like a freaking actual Game of Thrones or anything. But yeah. So, Tom, today is the day.
Hi.
Where we get to find out just what is going on with Alfred.
Yeah, I know. I've been waiting for weeks. I have no idea. I haven't even seen the Alfred hurty face thing yet. I've been looking forward to it. I genuinely have no idea. I'm going in blind. As some people may be able to actually plan on what to do with their characters, I can't, because I haven't got a bloody clue where I am. So it's just going to be all spontaneous and messy, and yeah.
It's going to be fun.
I'm sure it will.
And it is another important day for Marcia Greenmont. Charlie, we've got this baby on the way.
It's baby roll day.
Oh Lord, she coming.
It won't be a baby roll.
He coming?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
He! I beg of you. Yeah. We've been waiting for this since we started, and we decided we were on hard mode.
Yep.
And I still have no idea how today is going to go. I genuinely have not made decisions for Marcia in advance, because if I did that, I'd change my mind about 12 times, drive myself insane, and still be in the same position.
Fair.
So instead, I just decided, we'll see how it goes. We'll see what Marcia decides on the day.
All right. I mean, I have a particular way that I want you to go because it'll be fun, and I've written the scene. Otherwise, we're improvising. But
Too.
oh, sorry, Susie, Don.
Are we live right now?
Oh,
We are now, I think.
Hey,
hey.
bud.
I think we're live. Please scream if we are live.
I'm having to refresh right
Thank you,
now.
Matt. We're back, apparently.
We're back.
Chat says back.
Yay.
Good. Okay. Sorry if this is going to happen. I will try and keep up with it. And apparently if I just leave everything where it is, then Zoom comes back, and then we can start streaming again. So let's see how that goes. For tonight's other side of the stuff, we've got Vulture's Roost, basically, and here they are. So Oliver, I don't know what Oliver's doing, to be honest with you, Don. What is Oliver doing?
Oh, I don't know.
Great.
I don't really have a plan. I'm happy to be here. Oliver is going in. He has a plan. It's a loose plan, but that's kind of the way he does things. He's going to the Vulture's Roost. He doesn't know that Miria is there, if she's still there. But his plan is basically to have a chat with the Vulture King, and he thinks he has an upper hand of sorts. But I don't know if that's actually true. Probably not. So we will see. His army, he left positioned just outside of view of Vulture's Roost and said, look, if I don't come back by morning, then go back home to House Greenmont to Fox Hollow and let them know that I didn't come back. So I don't know if they'll listen to him. I don't have any expectations there. I'm happy to be here. It's 4th of July in America. And for that, I apologize if you hear outside of my window in the background of Oliver's scenes, screaming children and or a Peter Gabriel cover band. You might hear both today.
They've just rocked up to Vulture's Roost, just set up in a corner.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, cool. And Susie.
Hi. Yeah.
What's going on?
Everything's fine with Marianne, you know. She's still alive.
She's great.
She's great. Doing great. Living her best life. Yeah, we'll see if she survives in Vulture's Roost long enough to see her God's father come and get her.
We shall see. We shall see. And Virginia should be dropping in at some point very soon. She, like we all do sometimes, just got the time wrong. So what we're going to do, hopefully, is drop out for a couple of minutes while we queue up another bit of technicalities to get all the screens in the right place. And then we'll be right back in with some first scenes as well. But let's maybe...
But before we do that,
okay.
We have a few things to mention. I will be a disembodied voice. Don't change.
No, it's fine. It's good.
Oh, okay. So a couple of things to mention before we go into this. Shout out to Black Cats Gaming, who had an awesome Kickstarter release on Tuesday that's going for the spy game. A great big toolkit expansion for 5e for espionage, action, thrillers, and more. If you haven't backed that already, go and check it out and consider backing it, because it's going to be super cool. And I'm not just saying that because I'm writing something for it, but just throw that in there. The other thing I would love to mention is that we are sponsored today by Tabletop Loot, who make amazing dice. And what's more, have a really cool scheme called the Gift of Knowledge, where if you donate $5 to their site, they send 2 sets of dice to schools for RPG groups and youth outreach and things like that. So that's super cool. And we will be doing some dice giveaways. But we've decided, because of technical stuff going on tonight and the fact this is a finale and it's going to be bumper with juicy fruits, we're going to do those giveaways in the Discord at some point, either later tonight or maybe tomorrow, depending on how organized I'm feeling when this is done, because tonight could be a lot. But yeah, we have some dice to give away and I'm super excited. It's our way of saying thank you for being here and supporting us, and Tabletop Loot is supporting the wonderful RPG community. So please go check them out. They have some super cool dice. They've just added some new sets, actually, that I'm busy eyeing up. But yeah, so I think those are the 2 plugs, and I'm sure we can throw some links and things in chat for you to check out if they're not there already.
Yep. I have done.
Be in the Discords.
Yeah. What was the thing I was about to say? Gone. If you need someone to hype anything of yours, then Charlie's available for birthdays, weddings, bar mitzvahs, funerals, everything. She is the hype machine.
That's why I'm here right now.
Exactly.
Because we're going to do all of those things today. Birth, death, no. Wait, I retract my statement.
Yeah, but we just hit 9k today on the Kickstarter, which I'm very, very happy about. It's basically been a couple of days plus 3 hours maybe, and we've been doing really well so far. We're over halfway funded. We've got a chunky goal of 17k, because that gives us what we want to do, which is to publish a proper hardback RPG book. So if you're watching this and you haven't lent us your support already, I don't really know what you're doing, because we've been chatting about it for ages, and this feels like a really cool little family of kind of like, I've got 14 people live on my thing right now. So tell everyone you can, including mums, nans, dads, uncles, weird cousins, about it, and get them to back it if they fancy it too.
Long lost bastard sons, mortal enemies across the mountain ranges. Send a raven to the Starks in the north. Let everyone know.
Yeah. And
Spy game is coming.
It's true, yeah. And we only have 2 of the 5 evil genius pledges left, where you get to be drawn into the book as an evil supervillain, by one of our fabulous artists. Susie did some amazing artwork for me for the Kickstarter for the basically me in a white suit with two cats. Thanks, Susie.
I really didn't mean to make it you, Sam. I painted it, and then I went, "Oh shit!"
Oh.
I feel really weird about our entire conversation about it now. Thanks for that.
So yeah, that is me. But if you want to be drawn as an evil supervillain by Susie, then that's your chance. All right, enough of my gabbling on. Let's actually get into this week's episode, which is called The Carrion Kings. Let's take some water so I keep hydrated. All right. We are going to start with Alfred. Just pop this over here a second. All right. Waking slowly from a deep, empty sleep, your senses begin to return to you one by one, while the world remains dark. You can feel the soft sheet and straw of a bed underneath you, and your arms and legs slowly awaken, stiff and weak. You hear a shuffling close by, slippers on wood that creaks a little with every few steps. Pots and glass clink together. Laughter, distant and muffled, gives way to two men speaking. Their words you don't understand. As the footsteps close to you get closer still, your nostrils finally taste the rich and musky oils in here, and the breeze whistles from the left through what must be an open window, bringing with it the taste of salt on the air. You try to lift your eyelids, finally, to get a look at where you must be, but something's wrong. You can't lift your eyelids, and a panic washes over you that you're blind, lost in darkness for the rest of your days. What would you like to do?
Do I feel anything on my face? I mean, do I feel like a bandage over my eyes?
As you slowly raise your weak arms, you pat across your face and you feel a bandage across both eyes and down one side of your face.
He's going to kind of like try and pull the bandage off, panicking, hoping that that's the reason for it. So he's going to try and pull the bandage off.
Lifting the bandage from your eyes, only one eye opens. Your left. The right side of your face feels numb in places and squashed as if someone was pressing the features in towards the middle of your face. Around this room you see a small wooden chamber, with walls plastered in a soft cream colour, with other straw beds dressed in blood-stained sheets and a mess of brightly dyed silks strewn across them and the floor around. In a double bed to your right lie two men, both wounded it seems, with bandages covering various parts of their body. One of them has one leg, while another has his right arm bound across his chest. The open window to your left bears a remarkable design, with an arch-pointed top, like a Dornishman's helm in red brick. The bright blue wooden shutters opened to reveal a view of ships and masts and sails furled in dock. Around the room hang ornate tapestries in the brightest vibrant dyes, blues, indigos, reds, crimson, and gold thread. Dragons adorn them, backed by mountains erupting in fire. Hanging from the ceiling, a couple of draped bright silks flutter in the breeze. Oh! Cries a woman's voice in quiet surprise, and a middle-aged woman steps forward slowly, and her face comes into view. A warm face, and greying dark brown hair atop a head done up in a messy bun. Pox scars from an illness years ago dot her face and leave tiny spotted impressions all over her cheeks, nose, and forehead. You're awake, then?
Where am I?
Settle down, please. You might hurt yourself. Please lie back. She kind of gently pushes you back down into the bed.
He won't resist. He's too weak to.
Sure. My name is Zeldis. I was at Blackmont the night that the attack occurred.
The attack. What happened after? Where are my men? What happened?
The Blackmont garrison came and dealt with the raiders, but there were so many screams and shouts and running men and women and children. I couldn't really tell you what happened there. What I can say is that I managed to get you and a few of these men down the river here and across the shores of the south of Dawn through the Stepstones. We're in Tyrosh.
Would I know where the hell Tyrosh is?
So I would like you to make me a knowledge education test.
Oh dear. It's not going to be very good, but we'll give it a go. 6.
Okay, yeah. So Tyrosh is basically latitude-wise, it's on the same kind of level as where Greenmont House is, really, pretty much, kind of high garden kind of way.
Right.
And it is just across the narrow sea along the Stepstones. It's very close to Cape Wrath, and basically you can go 2 directions to kind of Storm's End up to Stormlands,
right.
or you can go Dawn. So it's
Nice.
it's actually just here.
Hang on. Point. Hang on. Sorry, 1 sec. I wasn't looking. Where is it?
Yeah, just
Oh,
here.
just down there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not really all that far.
Okay. Do I recognize the people lying? Are they my men or women?
Okay, so yeah, the 2 men lying on the bed next to you, looking over at them. I would like you to make me a cunning memory test, please.
Okay.
Now, this is going to be a drawback for you. I haven't named
Okay.
it yet, but this is going to be a drawback for your character.
Right.
You are going to take a -1 dice to cunning memory tests.
Okay, so I'm losing. I'm losing my memory. Am I?
A little bit.
All right.
Things are hazy. And I said it's only memory tests, so other cunning tests like logic or decipher and that kind of thing are fine, but memory is one that's affected.
So how do I do this? Do I roll 2d10 and keep 1, or do I just roll 1d10 and keep 1?
No, yeah, you roll 2 dice and then keep 1.
Okay. 9.
That's a D6, not a D7.
Sorry, what am I doing? Sorry. That's because of cold.
That's cool.
Sorry. 6. I critted.
Wow. All right. One of these is your men, and the other is one of the bandits.
Okay. Do I know what man? Do I recognize them by name, or are they just? It's not Alex, is it? Oh no.
No.
It's a man. It's all right. No.
You recognize their face, but you couldn't genuinely, even competently, you couldn't place their name.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just making a note of the minus. He'll try and pull himself up again and just rest on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you take me here? Why didn't you stick with me? Take me to the Blackmont Castle.
Well, they would have killed you.
Why?
Well, the raid was happening.
We went there to stop the raid. We're not the bandits.
Who
We're
are
there to
you?
stop them. I'm Sir Alfred Wilde of House Greenmont.
Oh.
I mean, thank you. I mean, and he kind of takes out his hand, and if she's near, he'll squeeze her hand in thanks. Of, thank you for me and for taking these things, but I need to get back.
Back where?
To Fox Hollow, House Greenmont.
I'm not sure that that's really an option anymore.
What do you mean?
My orders were very clear. And as she says that, a soldier, a knight, walks in. Fairly plain-looking armor with a yellow tabard.
Okay.
A sword at his side with a hand resting on it. Speaks to her. Are these them? She says, yes. And she actually steps aside a little bit to like mask that you're awake.
Okay.
And she takes the soldier outside. He looks Westerosi.
Okay.
And you can hear very dully their conversation.
Can I get up and sneak close to the door to get a better...
Yeah,
to listen?
sure.
I think I'll do that.
Sure. You unsteadily get out of the double bed and manage to bump your right-hand side just slightly onto the right-hand double bed. This is also part of your drawback. It's just a -1 to the result of awareness tests.
Okay.
That rely on sight. It may also be that at my discretion, you automatically fail seeing something on your right-hand side.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So it's just a -1 to the results.
Yeah, got it.
Right. You make your way up to the door. Press your ear against it. So, yeah, make me an awareness notice test.
All right. Okay. Here we go. That would be 6.
Well, this is hearing, really. So 7.
Oh, 7 then. Sorry. Yes, you're right. Sorry.
You hear snippets of their conversation. And it sounds as if you are going to be like presented to somebody.
Do they say who?
You don't hear who.
Alfred's gonna kind of... I don't suppose any of my gear is anywhere near me.
No. She's brought back people, not things. So.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I'm gonna look out the window. How big is this window?
It's a couple of feet wide by a good 3-4 foot tall. So,
and is it high up? Is it on a different?
You're on the so what us Brits would call the second floor.
Oh dear.
So you're on
okay.
the third floor.
3 levels up. Okay. He'll sit back down and take a rest and just wait for them to come back in.
Okay. She manages to come back in, and then she starts to bring a tray over with some ointments and oils and starts to peel away your bandage. As she does so, just some of the stitching just pulls slightly, and you can feel all the way down the side of your face, down through just touching the lip as well, is a deep running scar that she has stitched together. And this is the final drawback I'm going to give you.
Okay.
Which is marked.
Marked.
Whenever you test persuasion, you must re-roll any die result of a 6 and take the second roll.
Oh, so is that just once? So if I roll and it's another 6, I take that. Is it? It's just okay. I'm ugly.
Yeah. Afraid so.
Oh no. Okay. As she's supplying the what about my man there? Is he going to be okay?
I'm afraid I had to take his leg.
But he'll live.
I hope so.
And what of the other man?
He has not sustained such terrible wounds. He's been in and out of consciousness. Unlike the two of you, his recovery should be fairly quick, I hope.
I see. Thank you. So, what is to become of me? I mean, who are you getting your orders from?
Well, we're going to take you to speak to His Grace.
His Grace?
His Grace.
I need a refresh of memory. Who's king at the moment of the 7 kingdoms?
This is you, Tom, is it, asking me?
Yes.
So Daemon the Second.
Daemon the Second. You mean Daemon the Second? King Daemon?
No, Alfred. She didn't know your name. Shut up, Sam.
Yeah.
No. Daemon the Second. We're going to take a quick break there while we get Virginia in, and we're going to cut to Virginia. In Tyrosh, mate. All right. Please bear with us again.
Blue-haired boys.
Yeah, exactly. Please bear with us again, folks. We'll be back as soon as we possibly can. We'll get Virginia in, and on that bombshell. It's time for a word from our sponsors. See you in a few. Hi again. Welcome, Virginia. Hello, Virginia.
Hi.
How's it been without me in the office for the last week?
Oh my god. Well, everything's going well. Like nothing's on fire. It's all good. We miss you though because there's no one to make weird jokes and occasionally walk up and just thrust memes at us. So it's really quiet.
I just want HR to know there's no actual thrusting involved, because that would be awkward.
Mostly Sam giggling to himself at his desk, and then one of us going, "What?" and Sam just walking over in tears of laughter, just holding his phone out.
And again, if my bosses are watching, I do work, honestly. I do work. All right. You wanted to actually frame a scene for me, for yourself this week. So take me through that scene as you're on the way down towards the Red Mountains.
So this will be when they're probably alone in their carriage, when probably closer to the evening, once kind of they've camped up somewhere and everyone else is off doing other things and it's just the two of them. And Mara will kind of turn to Alistair, and she would have prefaced this before they left, that there was a lot she had to tell him, but she didn't want to do it at Highgarden where the walls have ears. And she'll sit down with him in there, make sure no one's around, and if that means sending away any guards by the carriage doors, then so be it.
No, they're leaving you alone.
Yeah.
We established this before, right?
They had enough on the way to Highgarden. It's like the door's shut, we're leaving now.
Yeah.
And she sits down with Alistair and kind of takes her hand in his and says, I'm about to tell you everything.
So I was laughing at Charlie, sorry.
It's okay. I'm waiting for Jason to start shouting in the chat at me.
Okay.
But she's like, I have to tell you everything about what's going on, and then you have to tell me everything, because that is the only way we both make it through this without tearing our house apart, my house apart, us apart. This is what we have to do. And she's just going to wait and see what his reaction is to that before she says anything else.
Okay. I was going to let you roll and go first in this intrigue, basically. I was going to treat it like an intrigue because I think it deserves it. So, I mean, if that delay there is read target or consider, those two work in terms of actions.
It would probably be consider, if anything. She's judged considering how he's taking the idea of all of this coming out in the open. Oh, have we lost Sam?
My connection's unstable.
God damn it, we've lost Sam. Oh no, he's back.
Oh, he's back.
Cursed stream. There were some drop frames there. I think we're okay again.
You know what it is? It's just that we don't want the season to be over. So we've made some calls to some people. This is why Simon's not here. He's busy at Virgin HQ, making sure the session never ends.
Yes, that one there. Yes, that one in London. That one. Target his house. Mate. Okay. So much for an atmospheric season finale. So sorry, you were saying consider?
Yeah, so she'll take the consider action in that she's kind of judging how he's going to take this, thinking about, based on his reaction, how does she explain this, but she wants to see what his reaction is to her basically saying, we're about to tell each other everything and this is happening.
All right. I mean, I would suggest retarget is a stronger action to take there, because if you get the if you make your awareness test, then you get like +1 dice against him for the rest of this. So
okay, yeah, I'll go for retarget then, if that's...
What's your marriage benefit doobie again?
My marriage benefit doobie is Add +1 to persuasion tests. Oh gosh, why?
And
Okay.
do you remember those big Mosher jeans of the early 2000s with the massive big legs and pockets that
It
went
would,
all the way
like,
down?
down, and it would literally be like around your thighs, and you just have this swamp of jean fabric.
It's weird live
That was
again.
the point. Oh, hi.
Sorry, they all started talking about jeans whilst technical difficulties happened. I apologise for my internet. It is awful. Flounder says Mosher jeans are great, though. I agree with you. Okay, let's try and get this back on track. We may get to like an hour or so in, and we just kind of maybe call it. Maybe do like we were going to kind of catch up next week as well, anyway. So maybe just finish it off then. I don't know. Okay, so. Mara, you've taken the consider action. No, I'd suggest taking the retarget action.
Yeah.
All right. Make an
You
awareness
were
test
talking
for me.
about the weird wedding things. It's just +1 bonus dice to tests that strengthen your union. I don't know if that applies.
Then roll that bonus dice.
Cool. So this is awareness. Is that like empathy or anything like that, or just straight up
Empathy,
awareness?
yeah.
Cool. So if I just put 2 into that, so I can click the thing. And that is 16.
I have to check his passive deception. Is, funnily enough, not very high. And you succeed. He obviously looks quite concerned. In that you're like, this is all the things going on. He's like, oh, okay. Oh, and there is a little bit of like, I gotta tell her some stuff. Maybe I gotta tell her some stuff. His disposition towards you is affectionate, and so it's the top one, and he has not had a technique yet. So, but you get +1 dice. Keep dice for the remainder of the intrigue for persuasion and for persuasion deception tests. Okay. Okay. He's going to take the consider action as well. He's going to wait for you to speak.
Okay. So I have to tell you what's going on with my brother. So I know I told you he left the Citadel and that he'd made some really stupid decisions by casting off his chains, but he's found a new height of ambition. When we were at Highgarden, he came and spoke to me because he wanted to approach Lady Redwyn, the spy master, about, I don't know, entering into her service. He seems to have spoken with her and wanted to feed me information. He's very concerned that for some reason I'm not loyal to House Greenmont. And I tried to talk him around. I tried to make him understand that I am an Oakheart and I support this house, even though I want the best for my family. But I can't do anything for them if I can't even support the house that I've sworn myself to now. And I don't know, he's getting ambitious, and he doesn't trust you. He doesn't trust anybody except me, and I'm worried. My house, my old house, it's near to ruin. If the Lady Marcia doesn't have a boy, her claim to the house won't last. My father's legacy will be gone. My sister's been branded a spy and a traitor, and that I refuse to believe it. I'm sorry. She's a child. And that is entirely what's going on, and I'm trying everything I can to make sure that House Greenmont survives this, that my sister can come back from this, that there's something that can be done to mean that Marcia doesn't have to give up the house that she's married into. My father looked after her. He married her. We can't let the house fall to ruin and leave her with nothing.
So, are you trying to influence as your action?
Yeah, I'm trying to kind of push that. I am telling you everything that's going on and everything that I'm trying to do in the hopes that you'll understand and share whatever it is that's going on with you with me.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So pick your technique. Man, I don't even know what that would be. Charm, convince.
Be convinced, right?
I think straight up convince.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be charm. It's going to be convince. Where is it's under persuasion, right? Yeah. Cool. How do I add a keep dice onto this? Or do we just roll it separately?
You can just up the skill temporarily.
Oh, okay. Cool. Does this get any bonus from the marriage thing?
Yeah. And I'm going to give you 3 bonus dice for spilling the beans and having such convincing.
Okay,
argument.
so if my convincing is 3, I'm upping it to how many now? 1 for the marriage vows.
So your persuasion was what's your persuasion at normally?
Oh, it's 4.
And have you got any bonus dice in convince?
Yes, I've got 3. 3? That's what's on here, unless I've modified that and not put it back.
I think you might have upped that. I mean, you can have 3 because you've got 4 in persuasion, but that seems like a lot.
Yeah. Okay, maybe it was 2 then. I think I know I had more in one than the other, so.
Okay. Roll. So persuasion is normally 4.
Yeah.
All right. So roll 8 and keep 5.
So I change the 4 to an 8.
No. Change the 4 to a 5 and have 3 bonus dice.
Okay.
Or yeah.
Is that including the one from the marriage vows?
No, I'd add another one. 4 bonus dice. Rolling 9,
okay.
keeping 5.
There we go. Rolling 9, keeping 5. Right.
Oof. I mean, you rolled 14 dice there.
What? I don't know how I've managed this. Hold on.
I don't know how you managed it either. Let me.
I don't know what I've clicked now. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I'll roll it for you. Roll 9d6, keep 5. Score is 25. You get to re-roll the ones. So we re-roll 2d6, 2 4s. So instead of the that would actually be the same result, wouldn't it? Yeah. Okay, so 25 is the result against his intrigue defense of 8, which gives you at least so 28 would be 4 degrees of success, so it's 3 degrees of success. What is your will rank?
My will rank is... Sorry, the character sheet's being really weird for me on Roll20 right now.
That's all right.
Why is it doing that? I think it's just Roll20 being weird for me. Will is 3.
So times that by 3, 9 is your composure damage, effectively. All right. He just says that's a lot to take in. I mean, I could understand how you must be feeling with all of that going on. I don't really know what to say. But we can get through this. We can work something out with your brother. I don't know. And he is essentially going to be quite vague about kind of what to do, but kind of make all the right noises. And what's your passive will? So it's your will rank times by 4.
3, 6, 9, 12.
Oh, where did he go? Lost him. Okay. Did I get a 12? Oh, my days! I did.
What is it with you and sixes, Sam? I don't know how you met. Who did you bribe at roll 20?
I don't know. Thanks, Dean. All right. I mean, yeah. Okay, not quite enough for that, but he makes all the right noises.
Bless him.
But it's top of the round and it's back up to you.
Okay. In which case, well, I know it's a lot to take in, and supporting me would mean everything, but I need to know what's going on with you. Is there anything you haven't told me? Anything that if somebody were to find out could bring your house to ruin, me to ruin, you could damage our reputations, anything. I don't care what it is. I'll accept it. I'll deal with it. But I need to know so that if somebody throws it in my face like they did about Miria, there aren't any surprises. I will defend you no matter what. But I need to know. I don't want to be surprised like that by anything again to do with anybody that I care about. And she's going to, I guess it's going to be influence again in kind of pushing him to tell her if there is anything.
Mm-hmm. That's convince technique, I think, as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So this is your regular rank is 4.
Mm-hmm.
You've usually, you say, got a 2 bonus in convince.
Yeah.
But add a bonus dice to that for your marriage vows.
Cool.
So it will be 3 bonus dice. So we're rolling 7 and keeping 4.
Why won't it let me do the roll command? D6, keep 4. There we go. 22, but then I re-roll the ones, right?
I mean, yeah. If you get another 6, it's going to help. No, okay. Still a 22. That is huge. Yeah, I mean, that's going to knock him out of the intrigue. So his demeanor changes entirely once you actually kind of really poke and prod into what's going on with him. I'm not particularly going to play out the scene. I don't feel strongly enough to be able to play a convincing coming out scene, but he comes out to you and he describes how he just really fancies your brother.
She will just like hug him and hold him and be like, it's okay. The one thing she probably will ask is, do you actually love me? Do you want to be married to me? That would be the biggest thing for her.
Yeah. He absolutely says so, and from what you can tell, he believes it, you believe it. You know, I'd imagine he gets quite emotional in private. He's still fairly young adult as well.
I mean, Mara's probably crying, but she's gonna hug him, and knowing that he does actually want to be married to her, and it's not like just he got married because he needed to, and it's all been a lie. that will make it easier for
Mm.
her, and she'll just hold him. It's like, okay, it'll be okay. It's gonna be fine. I'm still here, and that's what she'll try and come to deal with that. But knowing that he does genuinely care about her is a different thing. She's totally weirded out that he fancies her brother though, but she's not going to say it.
It's fine. But you learn as well that as much as the beginning, it was certainly a well-negotiated marriage of politics, particularly for the Greenmonts. He came to love you and has come to love you. Just from all the seduction intrigues, I guess, whatnot. But because you've both done such wholesome work on actually kind of getting to know each other and stuff, he has come to love you dearly. And so you get that information from him, which was the objective, I imagine, from the intrigue. All right. We are going to fade across now to Miria.
We have to, though.
Yeah.
Can we go back to the really nice mushy lovey bit?
Nope.
Oh.
Down in the Undercroft of Vulture's Roost ruins, light spills inside the gaps in the walls. Dug into the very cliff itself, the floor is an uneven but smooth rock, matched by the exterior walls, while arches of light mountain brickwork provide discrete areas. There is a very little furniture in here, and you and your uncle have been given a corner of the Undercroft to rest. Peering out of the crack in the outer wall through the cliff face itself, you see the mountainside that starts the Will River Valley and its tiny source from the midway down the slope. As you press your body up against the wall to get the best look that you can hear the rock's tiny cracks giving a little. There must be mere inches separating you from a deadly fall. In terms of Edmin, I would like you to roll for him, please. I think you've still got control of the character sheet.
Yes.
Or at least you can see his stats. It's been a day, so I need you to roll an endurance resilience test for him, difficulty 9, to see if he overcomes the injury.
9.
Very nice, cool. So he is resting at the moment, but his leg looks a lot better. There's no smell coming from it, so it's in good shape. That kind of good stuff. A figure heads towards your corner from the dimly lit shadows, and stepping back from behind a pillar, Daemon Storm is coming towards the both of you with a plate in hand.
Okay. Mary will, I think like in this time, Mary's probably been looking after her uncle, like making sure his leg's okay and scooting away from the wall that felt like it was inches away from collapse, just like, but on Daira's approach, she was like, Daira, hello.
I brought you some food.
Thank you.
This was the best I could get from the kitchen. It's cooked, but it's a little dry and old kind of chicken leg and thigh. There is some kind of scraps of other meat as well. We call it half a sausage. Kind of scraps of stuff, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But she presents this to you kind of as a gift to be able to eat. I would like you to roll for me, though, a status test, please.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Breeding will apply.
I do not have that, so it's just status 6.
All right. Give me a mo. Doing all right tonight. 14. All right. Wowzers.
Bodes ill.
Yeah. Okay, so she's going to go first. Yeah, she offers you the plate. She says, I'm sorry that I don't have any more. I know that there's the two of you, but
I think Maria does take it, and she'll like start chewing on the sausage and offer her uncle some off the plate.
your uncle.
She takes it very, not greedily, but there is a little bit of edge of like food.
Little bit of a tug, yeah,
Yeah.
an urgency, sure. Your uncle is asleep right now.
Oh, okay. She was still. I think she'll put it next to him though. Like she's making sure that he has something.
Sure. Okay. Let me just roll this. Roll 20.
Oh my god!
Roll 20, I swear, is bugged or something. So this ain't right. I'm giving myself a reroll there, like a negative reroll. I'm going to see what happens. A 6 and a 4.
Can you stop?
I mean, I'm just going to leave it alone. All right. So let's... What's your passive deception?
My passive deception is 12. Is she using a retarget though?
Maybe.
Well, if she's using a retarget, I get to add my cunning to that too, which is 16 altogether.
All right. It is now your turn.
Okay. So.
Oh, sorry. There was a thing here. Right.
Yes.
Because we need dispositions, objectives, if you have any. And this food heals your wound.
Yes.
You eat properly.
Fabulous.
And it improves Miria's disposition to Daira by 1 step.
Cool. Great. No, it's fine.
Always bribe with food, right?
Yeah, I mean, works with animals, works with children. Food is that's what you do. Okay, so Miria is going to remember she's a lady and not respond to Daira with a mouthful of sausage. And she Sam.
Sorry.
Sam. She is going to say that she appreciates it, you know, even though they may be scraps, it's still very well received, and she's very thankful. And she is also going to retarget.
I mean, that's fair. We play the meta of this completely, so let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I always forget how to do this. My awareness.
Yeah.
15. No, wait, hang on. Yeah, 15.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. No. Afraid not.
Dang it.
Yeah. Okay. On her turn. Okay, that was the first thing I decided to go with, apparently. I see a lot of fight in you. You remind me of me when I was your age. This kind of will, determination to survive, to try and eke out the best of a bad situation. Even when we captured you, you kept a cool head for the circumstances, I think. These soldiers, she motions around herself. They fight for something much more than power, gold, glory, honor, or devotion. They fight for their survival too. And she's going to roll. Don't worry, Charlie. I'm not expecting any bonus dice.
Nope.
Oh.
Oh.
All right, fine.
Sam, you can have a bonus dice from me because that was
No,
good.
it's
Yeah,
fine.
you can have one bonus.
I got a 22 anyway.
Oh, fucking hell. Sam.
Yep.
Why?
I don't know. Oh, I've not taken it. I'm not showing her thingy. That was an influence, and you're going to take. What's that? Yeah. You're going to take. What is your intrigue defense at the moment?
11.
11. So 3 degrees.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
just on the edge of. It's just on the 3rd degree there.
Yep.
So 9 composure damage. Remember to soak that with some of your DR.
Ooh.
Soak some of that with your DR.
Ouch. Okay.
Your turn.
Hmm. Just going to consider. Just gonna just take in what Dara's saying.
Nice. All right. I've had a bonus dice in chat from James, but that reminds me that even though I didn't quite get the graphics sorted, you still have a test die and a bonus dice in hand. I still think I have a couple of bonus dice in hand if I need them later on. So that's 3 for me now.
Mm-hmm.
So keep that in your noggin for later.
I got it written down in my book.
Perfect. Cool. Okay, you're going to consider. She is going to tell you this. These people, these traitors, they've been abandoned. Like you. When you were taken from your home to Summerhall, your family effectively abandoned you. But we, in this company, have formed a bond stronger than that. And she presses upon you this idea of abandonment and a sense of belonging that she has found in this group of people.
For that, you can have 2 bonus dice, Sam, because that was real psychology bullshit.
Give the man a bonus die.
No, he gets 2. That was gnarly. That was deep.
That was mean.
I've not got a macro set up for this, so I'm gonna have to type it out.
How many dice are you gonna roll?
I mean, quite a few by now. $20? Yeah?
Yeah.
That's an influence. So that is... it is 6 composure damage.
Okay. Alright.
Are you still in the game?
Still in the game.
Oh, alright. Alright. Boring. That's an old reference there for the old folks in the back. Right. It's back over to you.
Okay. She's going to she's gonna hit back with a straight up, I don't know, influence. We're just gonna go straight for like a hit back.
Yeah.
And she says, you know, I had thought about being taken from my family every day since it happened. It is not... I know that it wasn't their choice. It wasn't anything they could have done. My brothers were dead. My godfather was wounded. There was nobody left to fight for me. I know that I have people who love me back home. I know I have not been forgotten, Daira. And yes, you're right. I am surviving. I'm doing it so I can get back home.
Nice. I'll give you bonus dice for that.
Bam! Okay.
Or you've got to keep dice. You've got a bonus dice in hand.
I do.
If you need them. And yeah, roll that
Okay.
persuasion check. Probably convince.
Convince, yeah.
Bear in mind, if you're using deception, check those out too.
There was no deception now.
All right. Well, I don't know, do I?
So with the convince, that's straight up will. And you give me a bonus dice for that, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna use my keep dice too.
Oh.
So that'll be roll 5, keep full. Fucking Maria, please. 15.
Let's check. Is 2 degrees of success.
Yeah. Okay. So my will rank is 3. So that'd be 6.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No problem, mate. And she is going to retort with this. Your family's words are forget me not, aren't they? They have forgotten you. This family would not have given you up just as they did. This family seeks its revenge for all of Westeros. And she is going to do that. Any bonus dice?
1.
1. All right. That was what I got last time, I think. All right. I'm going to add 1 from my little pool of them. So that's going to go up to that. Yeah. So they're still just bonus dice, but oh man, 19, 2 degrees.
Yep.
Then it is 6 composure damage.
Oof. Hang on, that might be it.
You can take frustration, but for the duration of the intrigue, you'll be at -1 dice on your tests.
I'm going to take a frustration. I think Maria is starting to get a bit feisty. Now she's got a bit of food in her.
All right. Frustration lets you subtract will rank, so 3 points of influence from a successful attack. So you can,
okay.
So you can absorb 3 of those. So I'll be dealing 3 and then check your DR to see if you absorb any others.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Still in. All right. Back over to you.
Okay. She is then going to. I think she's mad, so she's starting to get a bit. Her back's going up at this. So it's just gonna be straight influence again with a convince, and she hits back with this family outright spoke in front of me of the ransom they could get for me and my uncle. And what happens when I'm no longer useful? What happens when you tire of having a little lady around the keep? What then? Am I left out for the Carrion? Am I killed? Am I foisted off on some sellsword or bandit? Conveniently shoved out of the way? My family may not be here, but I know that they love me. And I know that once they find out what happened, they will move heaven and earth to find me.
Nice. I'll give you a bonus dice for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, ba-bum.
And the show cuts to a clip of Oliver declaring he will spare the earth.
So bonus die, but I lose a die
Yeah.
because I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
So how do I make that work with the typey thing? So it would be
So how many dice are you rolling in total?
4,
Okay. And your persuasion is usually
3.
so you're dropping down that to 2, so you're keeping 2 dice.
All right. Okay. Don't keep 2. Oh yeah, of course. 11.
Is 1 degree of success, I believe. Yes.
Okay, so it would be 3.
So 3. Okay. You are thinking too much like the lady that you have been brought up to be. But you are stronger than that. You've made your way across these mountains. You can fight, you can wield a bow, you could draw swords just as good as any of these men. You could find a place here, and it wouldn't have to be under some lordling or some traitor knight or some vagabond who's found his way here. It could be as a valuable member of this family. I could see to that. I could help you, show you the ways of actually being able to defend yourself, of actually being able to stand up for yourself. And
Bonus dice.
Bonus dice.
Charlie, stop it, man.
It's hard. I'm like so torn, but Sam definitely came to play tonight.
It's true. True fact. All right. 17.
2
2 degrees is going to be another 6.
Wait, it's 11. My intrigue defense. So that's still 2, right?
Yeah.
6. Fuck.
6 composure damage. That would be you unless you take another point of frustration. If you take... if your accumulated frustration ever exceeds your will rank, you automatically lose. And you wouldn't be keeping any dice for from your persuasion tests.
Oh, fuck.
You could, if you really didn't want to lose, take the frustration now and then yield.
That is true.
What is your will rank for those watching the audience?
My will rank is 3. So,
So you can take 2 more frustration without it being a problem. But you wouldn't be keeping any persuasion dice.
That's the thing, right?
That's the kind of crippling thing. Yeah.
Not keeping the dice, so it's pretty pointless. Keep going. Okay, so yeah, I'll take the frustration and then yield.
All right. So what do you yell? Oh. Oh no.
Pulled out my earphones in frustration. There you go.
No. So in frustration, what do you yell? What does everybody hear from Miria before she agrees to go along with something?
I don't know if she actually yells anything. Not a word, but it's just maybe it's like a frustrated like as she like hits the plate next to her or something, you know. She just has a little strop.
Yeah, all right. So Dara's objective is for you to make a home at Vulture's Roost.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the compromised position that you'd be able to offer?
I think Miria would try to convey that she is much more useful elsewhere. She would be a much better ally at a house than being here at the keep, because they could put a bow in her hands, they could put a sword in her hands, but her real gift is her mind and her speech. And that's not much use on a battlefield.
Yeah. Sure. All right. Well, she offers to train you for you to be able to handle yourself. But having been a kind of spy like that herself, she sees the value in that. So she's very happy with that. But Vulture's Roost for Miria is going to feel like somewhere she could actually kind of live her life, where she could actually be, free from the Targaryens as well. It's just out in a remote place. They don't really know what's going on here. These folks seem to, be traipsing around the Red Mountains, and no one knows how the hell to deal with them. So they must be doing okay for themselves. So, like as we said before at the very top of the season, be open to kind of Miria changing her mind slightly on, actually, okay, well, I could hang around here. I could, I could stay here. I could make this work for me. Cool. All right. Next, we are going to head off to Marcia, and we're going to head back. Transition back. Hello.
Hello, dear. How are you?
Good. I'm good. Fox Hollow Hall. Getting around Fox Hollow Hall has been so much more difficult this past week. Your back and your pelvis ache all the time. If not one, then the other. And on days like this, both. Your baby, your boy, has grown a lot more still lately. A sign, so the maesters say, of a birth due very soon. The Great Hall is quiet this afternoon. A storm having passed overhead, and a clear red sky beginning to show as the sun kisses the top of the mountains to the west. Salastria should be prowling the halls and corridors of this keep by now, her circadian rhythm quite fixed and predictive as cats, big or domesticated, usually are. She'll be prowling, wanting to play or hunt, but she is nowhere in sight as you stagger around the halls, passing servants and loyal Hollow Heart guards. "What are you doing?" cries Lana's voice from behind you. "You should be resting," she says, as she comes over and fusses over you. But you are looking for Salastria.
I'm tired of resting. You've seen Salastria.
Can't say I have.
She'll be menacing someone, no doubt.
You hear a voice from behind you, another female voice very familiar to you. She says, "She won't."
What do you mean?
And as you slowly turn, you see the figure of your grandmother behind you. She won't be roaming anywhere because we have caged her.
She is not yours to cage. Marcia doesn't go to the why, she knows the why.
Sure. She is when she kills one of our prized cranes.
I killed the crane. Now release my cat.
You?
Yes.
You. No. To a cat?
The cranes have always scared me. I'm sorry.
Child, it is a terrible portent. To have killed a crane's pet. And a crane so dear to you, I would hope.
Depends, grandmother, on if you know what poor omen that crane carried with it.
What?
There was something powerful in that bird. The red eye that watched. And she'll glance around She's not worried about Lana or grandmother Carrion hearing this, but she's trying to keep things a little vague, just in case there is anyone snooping. It was watching.
I don't really understand. Red eye. Watching. There's a call from a guard around the corner of the hall. He is looking for you.
What is it?
Lady Marcia. There is an army outside the doors. There's an army outside the doors. They're demanding hospitality in the holdfast.
An army? Whose army?
There's a whole host out there. I don't know.
What colours?
Orange, I think, green. He lists some colours that could literally be anyone's in the river in the Reach.
Lana, fetch Babblebrook. Grandmother, I will discuss this with you later. Please release Salistria. She'll do more damage in that cage than she will out.
You pass Lady Rosanna, but she doesn't give you an affirmative, and her face looks as sour as before. You head slowly to receive these guests. You stand eventually in the antechamber of the Great Hall, but then looking out, you see a few people, a few nobles that have ridden up here at the very front of the vanguard to greet you on horseback. And as you take a few steps and peer out of the large front wooden doors of the keep, you see the colours for, or you see what you assume to be Lord Peake. You see the colours for Lord Tarley in green with the hunter in red, and you see the young oak, a young man in oak heart colours, and next to her riding on a slightly smaller mount, but a horse nonetheless, is Mara.
Marcia turns to Lana for a moment and just says at the corner of her mouth, "We haven't the food to feed all of these people."
There is a host, like going down the valley. There is a host of hundreds of men, or hundreds of soldiers, and yeah, it goes to kind of common sense for you to know. I think that it would be the nobility really that would be looking for hospitality here. People would, all their soldiers and shit would be like camping out there. Like they might expect, like if you put on a feast for them now, they'd be like, oh, we'll come back here. Like this is very good, well done. But like if you just were like, oh, I've got some supper, I guess.
She's like, we have like 2 chickens. What are we going to do with 2 chickens?
It's chicken soup for everyone. Right. So yeah, but yeah, over to you.
Go get last night's bones and boil some broth.
Mara's already going to be getting down off of her horse if she sees Marcia.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to be getting off, and this is her home. This is Fox Hollow. She doesn't have to put up pretense here. But if she sees Marcia, she'll get down, and she will very quickly walk. She's trying not to run. She's trying to stay a little bit ladylike, and she'll go up kind of to Marcia, looking around, and just like hug you, minding, the stuff, and just, Mum, oh, Mother, oh, it's so good to see you, and just like touching your face and your shoulders, and just, I'm sorry nobody sent word. She's just really, she's crying and holding your hands, and just,
I think Marcia for a moment is kind of choked and caught in her own emotions, and then kind of glances around like it's a lot of people she hadn't been expecting again. But she looks back to you and kind of looks you over and sees that you're well. Welcome home.
She's just gonna hug you again. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I haven't. You need to meet Alistair, my husband, and I mean, everybody else, of course, but Mara will look back to Alistair to see if he's dismounting and getting off of his horse.
Yeah, the 3 men who rode up to the top of the hill with you are dismounting.
And when Alistair reaches her, she would like, Alistair, this is the Lady Marcia, and Marcia, this is Alistair, my husband, and I'm sure you know Lord Tarly and Lord Peake.
My lords.
They greet you. Gorman Peake is a giant of a man. Strong in shoulder, wears a great sword on his back. Lord Tarley is still athletic, still very much a knight, but is shorter, and has a just kind of a bit of stubble, kind of brown stubble, with a kind of receding hairline, but is kind of, I'd say, very early middle age.
Marcia greets Alistair. I'm most proud to have you here. I'm glad to see that you take such good care of Mara. And my Lord Tarly, I'm very pleased that you could at last join us here. And Lord Peake, it's a great pleasure. Please, won't you come inside? I'm afraid the weather may turn on us again. Mountains have a way about them.
They head inside in the antechamber. You offer them bread and salt, and then is the duty to take care of them and their hospitality. I'm leaving this up to the two of you. If there's anything that you want to discuss, then we can set that up, whether that's a bit later on at dinner, whether that's in private, anything you'd care to arrange.
I think Marcia would like a private conversation.
Yeah,
She
Mara.
wants to discuss Miria and a couple of other things.
Mara wants to discuss Simon.
Perhaps in Marcia's room, maybe. Maybe when they go and get changed for dinner, she could invite Mara to share her room as a place to change while the other quarters are set up. So it's less conspicuous of, let's have a private conversation, shall we?
Cool. So to you guys.
Mara is still probably a little bit overwhelmed at being home because it's been a while since she's been back at Fox Hollow, and she's like, I'm so sorry that you haven't had everyone here going through what we've all gone through. Would you
It's been a very busy time.
Is there any chance you would show me where Father is buried before we have to leave again?
Oh, of course.
It's so good to
Perhaps
see.
when the path has dried out a little.
There is so much we need to talk about. There is a lot going on. Alistair, he's lovely and wonderful. She'll babble on for about 10 minutes about her marriage. I'm worried about Simon. You know, he cast off his chains.
I'd heard something interesting from Oliver regarding it, but I'm afraid I didn't understand. And then Simon's note. I must thank you for what you both did at Highgarden.
I don't know. I wouldn't thank anyone just yet, Marcia. Simon was in talks with the Lady Redwind, the spy master at Highgarden, and I worry. He's ambitious. He is the last son of this house, unless, God's hope, you have a boy. And she'll, place her hands on your stomach for that moment, kind of affectionately. But playing with a spy master is not a clever idea. He wanted to feed information to me and Alistair, and I'm sure you understand. You married my father. Women, we have to solidify with the house that we're married with. I have to be an Oakhart. I'll always be a Greenmont at heart.
You do, Mara, of course.
He didn't understand that, Marcia. He got very upset. He thought I was abandoning our house.
Well, men are wont to get confused about very simple things sometimes.
It seems, especially Greenmont men. And Miria, you've heard?
Yes, I hoped that perhaps you and Simon were able to do something. It's a terrible rumor.
I had it thrown in
What's
my
more?
face at court. Right
What's
before
more,
I
we don't know
pleaded.
where she is, Mara.
I have no idea. All I know
I
is
sent.
she escaped, apparently, with dear old Uncle Blackmont from Summerhall. That's all I heard. I found out about it in court the morning that I protested that you should be able to have control of the house, at least until you bear us a boy.
My grandmother rode from Red Lake and carried the news with her. Sir Oliver, Lord Ironwood, searches the mountains now.
Sir Oliver, he's doing well. I haven't seen him since my wedding tourney.
He
They
leads
said he
the
would.
devoted.
Mara gets very happy about this, that, Oliver's okay. She hasn't seen him since he injured himself at the wedding tourney. And he recovered well then.
Yes, although the travel did little for the injuries.
I can imagine. You know he used a Blackfyre lance, don't you?
I'm sorry?
At the tourney. I'm pretty sure that the Princess Daenerys was not best pleased, but
The princess.
the Princess Daenerys, yes. I was talking to her at the tourney. She sat beside me. I was talking to her to try and get Miria back. I got her on side. She was willing to help. At least some of us get a visit to Summerhall to see her, and then all of this happened.
I'm afraid I hadn't heard about that. I had heard it's been a very interesting tournament. Perhaps now I understand some inferences that I'd missed previously.
Is there something I should know about, Marcia? What's happened?
We've had a few problems.
I've
with,
heard raiders from Dawn.
Yes. And there have been concerns, as I'm sure you have, with my child. Should your new brother not be a brother? And Marcia's actually going to step to the side at the moment and reveal that ash crib that's down beside her bed. And she's actually going to go and sit down because her legs and her knees starting to hurt and her feet kind of starting to throb from all the pacing around she's done. And she'll let Mara see the crib. There have been a few arrangements made for the sake of the house.
What arrangements? What are you? What don't I know, Marcia? Please.
It is not as sinister secret, Mara. Oliver and I made an agreement to strengthen both of our houses, to defend and protect them. That they will be brother and sister in the mountains. An arrangement that we sealed with a marriage agreement. Although he was much too busy going to rescue Miria, which you understand is of much greater importance.
Of course. And when you marry Sir Oliver, does this stay House Greenmont?
That is our wish and agreement.
She's like
Particularly as
visibly relieved at that.
Particularly as Miria could inherit something about the Dornish way.
Yes. Well, Mother wouldn't have been against it. I'm also trying for an heir, Marcia. I'll be honest with you, if the worst comes to this and anything happens to Miria, or she can't inherit, or you don't have a boy, or something goes wrong, I could always claim the house in the name of my son. And if that's the case, I would gladly have you rule as regent here until he was of age, and perhaps even after that.
Mara, there is something else you should probably know, since we've discussed everything else. But it is something that you must swear you tell no one else.
The only other person I will tell is my husband.
You cannot tell Alistair.
He knows all of my secrets, Marcia, and I know all of his. He will do anything to help us. He even wants to help Simon get out of his vows. Please, I trust him. Trust in me that I trust in him.
Perhaps it's better left for another day.
Marcia, please.
There's too much to settle. Mara, it is not my secret to tell.
Then whose?
Words are so dangerous. I hadn't understood that until I became a Greenmont. And every day I become more and more aware of it.
Secrets are dangerous. Secrets are what tear houses down and families apart.
I understand your frustration. I had the same frustration in seeking the revelations from another. Mara, how many brothers do you have?
I had 3 and now I have 1.
The number is not 1.
I have another brother. Who?
It has been suggested to me that there is another child that your father created.
Who? When? Do we know of him? Do we know where he is?
Marcia holds out her hand to kind of bring Mara closer to sit with her on the bed.
Mara will take it and, in a very almost daughterly fashion, just sit with her hands on your lap and an arm round you. Who is it?
You understand if I tell you and you tell Alistair, and Alistair tells another to whom he is loyal. It's not a secret anymore, and this person will be in great danger. From both friends and enemies.
Alistair would not betray my trust, not like that. I promise you,
You
Marcia.
doubted your own brother, Mara.
You know what Simon is like.
I'm afraid I do not.
I have had secrets from Alistair that would ruin him just by uttering the words aloud. He wouldn't betray me.
Are you familiar with Sir Wilde?
Of course. He was in Father's household for years.
Yes. Since his birth, in fact.
You're saying that Sir Wilde is...
I'm told he is your half-brother, yes.
I have a brother. Does he know?
I believe he found out recently, yes. I am afraid I have not had time to discuss with him, nor has he sought my counsel on the matter. He went away with the scouts, seek out the raiders, investigate the border. There's been a lot happening here at Fox Hollow, Mara.
I have a brother. But when? Who? Father...
I'm afraid I've not had the luck of meeting Alfred's mother.
I'm so sorry, Marzia. Only father could be awful sometimes.
It was long before I was even born. Perhaps that he met her. I don't know the story. But it is important that you know, because our house is in danger. The teeters. So finely balanced. And for your part, you bear part of that burden to keep it atop this mountain. Keep these people protected by us.
Marzia, I would do anything to ensure this house continues on. This is my father's legacy. I don't want to take it from anybody that deserves it. You deserve it more than anybody here. And hopefully my sister, if you don't have a boy, my sister rules over this house one day.
Why has the host marched south?
I'm not
Arlie
entirely...
speaks.
Stupid men that want glory in war, that's what they seek. I tried everything to stop Alistair from coming. I told him it was a terrible idea. But he seeks the glory that young men do in battle. Why is it Greenmont women are cursed with stupid men?
Perhaps
Sometimes
ordeal.
wonderful men, but stupid all the same. It all seems to be led by Lord Peake there. He had a problem with the Dornish raiders coming in and taking their lands and stealing and killing their livestock. It was so bad, he told the Lord Tyrell that he wouldn't be paying taxes in order to fund this expedition, and heavens be damned if I will let my glory-seeking idiot of a husband march his way up here without somebody to make sure he's not going to get himself stabbed in the back at dinner.
They must all believe they have much to gain or much to lose.
Alistair is an
Battle
excellent
Court
fighter.
was particularly boring this year.
Well, a bit of both, I think. Like, Alistair is good with a sword. He's strong and he's fit and he can fight. He's not the best at navigating much else, unfortunately. But he's trustworthy and he's honest and he cares for me. And I genuinely believe he wouldn't betray me and he wouldn't betray this house. At least not on purpose. I'm sure somebody could talk him into it if I wasn't around there to keep an eye on him, but he wouldn't betray this house. He cares too much about me and he knows how important you are to me and Miria is to me and even Simon.
If you share what knowledge you have, that is your burden.
There is a knock at your door.
Come in.
And your grandmother enters. She has a book in hand and an unlit candle, tallow, on a little candlestick.
My Lady Crane, may I introduce Lady Oakheart?
My lady.
My
And
lady.
Mara will kind of curtsy and nod a little bit. Maxie, would you like me to leave?
No. Stay.
She'll see the concern on your face and reach back for your hand and kind of hold on to it again.
The gods are good, Marzia, and the stars have aligned. I need to know now whether you wish to go ahead with this. She says discreetly.
Mara, to what length would you go to save this house?
Any length that I thought wouldn't endanger it more than it would save it.
You grew up with the Godswood.
I did.
the stories of the children.
I do. I still keep the old gods, Marzia.
My grandmother intends for us to ask them a great favor.
What kind of favor?
To grant you another brother.
We've always kept the old gods here. Even, I mean, we keep the new gods too, but the old gods, they're part of this place. They're part of these mountains. How often do you see a werewood grow in places like this?
I don't know how common it is, but I know how usually malicious it appears when I walk up there. But there are ties between the cranes and the old ways. Deep and thick as blood. And she's going to reach out her free hand to her grandmother, kind of join in closer. It's a decision that I must make now, Mara. I've gone back and forth on it.
The old gods have no power unless you believe in your heart that they do. So unless you believe that they will extend an offering to you here, I will come with you. I will come to the godswood. I will show you that it would bear you no harm. But unless you truly believe that the old gods can help you, unless you can walk into that godswood unafraid.
Power is strange and dark.
And ancient, yes. When we were kids, many of us were afraid of the godswood, a tree with a face in it. But Father would take us up there and sit with us and keep doing that until we weren't afraid anymore, until the fear only gave way to you seeing the beauty in its leaves and the understanding and the knowledge in its face. So if you want to go, I'll come with you. I'll do what Father did for all of us. But only if this is
the last chance for your father to have a son, a legitimate son, who might inherit this house.
Marzia, I need time to prepare. I need to know.
Prepare it.
She leaves there and then for the godswood.
Mara will wrap her arms around Marzia and kind of hold her, because I imagine this is really emotional for her. And then we'll kind of part and say, why don't we go up there and pray to the old gods? Let me show you it's not as scary as it looks.
She's about to say kill two birds with one stone, and then instantly regrets that thought and pushes it out of her mind. It would be good. You can see your father as well.
You buried him in the godswood.
Didn't know what else to do with him.
Thank you. Well, then let's go and see Father and let's pray to the old gods. I'm not sure if their magic works the way that some people say it does, but if this is what you want.
You should fetch your aunt as well. This is her family.
I'll do that. Wait here. We'll go together. And Mara will go off and find her aunt.
All right. We are going to move over to Sir Oliver. So we haven't seen Don yet. So let's fade over. Hey, Don. Hello. Sorry. It's so much. Ugh. Get into it. Okie dokie. So you we're heading into Vulture's Roost. Or you're at least trying to. So you're at the source of the Wheel River. Red Rob's just taking a drink halfway down the slope. Just taking advantage of the source here and the fresh water. What is your plan? And how are you going to go about trying to get into Vulture's Roost?
So, short-term plan being to get into Vulture's Roost. Oliver's going pretty directly at it. There's a gathering of men that he's seen, bandits. He's told his men to stay behind and to sort of stay out of sight, which they're good at doing. They're guerrilla fighters. He's not disarmed himself, but he's not actively wielding lance or halberd. He is riding alongside Red Rob down towards the castle, this ruined structure in the Red Mountains, and the men that are there. And if anybody, draws weapon, or if he sees anybody bearing down on him or paying him attention, he would give a friendly wave. He would try to seem as open and amiable as possible, but he has no intentions on trying to sneak into this building.
Okay, brilliant. So Red Rob bottles up some of the water into some skins, gets back onto the horses that you have, and as well, let's go. And you ride slowly up the other side of this valley, up towards this ruined keep, this ruined ancient structure growing out of the cliff face. I would like you to make an awareness notice check for me, please.
Okay.
As you head up the side of the mountain, you're looking around to check whether you see anyone, anything that could help you on your way up, or any danger.
A 14.
And just on a ridge, like a ridge line, as you have to meander up and then round it, you do spot the faint kind of foot, and then make out the shape of a bow of somebody waiting in the scrubland.
Does it look like the bow is taut, that they've pulled back and they're...
No.
How far away is this?
You are only about 20, 30 feet away when you do actually spot this.
And are they positioned in a way that I would expect they would see me as well, if I can see them, because I'm out in the open?
Yeah.
Oliver will slow down just a little bit more, and he'll kind of hold out a hand to the side for Red Rob, so Red Rob knows to stay paced with him. He doesn't want Red Rob to go in front of him and to make a stupid mistake and get himself shot. And Oliver will call out, hello there, my friend. There is no need to be alarmed. I am here peacefully. I am Sir Oliver Ironwood, sworn sword of House Greenmont.
You see the female figure stand from behind the bush. She's kind of sandy brown hair, with light skin, like light white skin, freckles, and she's wearing rough leathers. And then two more people come round from the path, clearly from your mind, on ambush points along this meandering pathway. There's another who draws a bow and points it at you just as the woman is doing so. And there is a man with a bastard sword in very rough looking chainmail, and kind of very loosely cut kind of leathers over the top, and bears the sword. And it's he that says, Sir Oliver Ironwood, sworn to House Greenmont. Looks at the other two, who give him a kind of quizzical look as well. Say, well then, I would say, give us your money.
Well, that is the thing, my friends. I am a very wealthy man. but I do not carry it on me when I go through the Red Mountains. I would be happy to speak of payment, but I think this is where I say, take me to your leader.
He looks confused and just says, "No, this is not how this works. See, what happens here is that you give us your belongings and then we send you on your way."
Let me offer you another idea of how this works. You take my belongings, you send me on my way. I return to my house. And you have gained what? A suit of armor? A weapon?
They look castle-ish to
Or-
me. Pretty fancy.
Do you think it is that your leader might reward you more if you bring me to him and we strike an accord? As I said, I am Sir Oliver Ironwood, the heir to House Ironwood. Sworn sword of House Greenmont. These are two wealthy, powerful families, my friend, and I would like us to be friends. But that is up to you.
He's looking very confused right now, and he's trying to put these things kind of together. This is the kind of, he's not even like on the kind of the first rung of the ladder in this like Game of Thrones style thing, and he's just trying to make sense of it. So what I want you to do though for me is make a persuasion test. I'm going to take this from a kind of like fast talk place. So passive will of 8. So you're going to need a 13.
Okay. Now, 2 questions. One, can I apply either courage or empathy to this test?
So this is a persuasion test for you. It's against his passive will.
I understand. If I have to get a 13, then I have to use my keep dice that I have.
Okay.
Because that is the only way that I can hit a 13 naturally.
All right.
All right, so persuasion. Whew. That's rough.
Oh, all right. He is very much like, nah, I don't get it. No. And he walks over to you, straight up to your horse, the 2 bows still pointed in your directions, and starts to look through your saddlebags.
So how many bows are on me?
2.
2? And how's Red Rob looking right now?
Red Rob is a little, like a few steps back on horseback from you, and is just kind of, you look over to him and he gives you a look of like what are we doing? Like,
how close are the 2 bowmen to each other?
I would say 20 feet.
Oh,
Like
man.
on the either side of this like
opposite
wide path.
sides of this path, right?
Yeah. Let's talk in this kind of language. They're a sprint away from you, and they are they're not too far from each other. Yeah, it's like they are either side of this path.
All right, let me ask you this about Red Rob, because I've trained with him. I've kind of trained him, but I don't personally, me the player, I don't know how good he is at things. Is he? Can he shoot a bow? Can he wield a spear or sword with any kind of? Am I confident in his squire abilities?
I'm trying to remember if I made him yet or not. I don't think I did.
Okay.
So that means that we're looking at the units, aren't we?
Yeah.
And I've got the couriers, or is he a gorilla, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Charlie. Charlie, what are the gorillas' stats?
That's a good question.
Oh, I got the house thing up.
It was like 1 in
Yeah.
everything for them. They're like the best at everything.
A 1 in everything. That's rubbish.
No, I mean like an additional.
No.
Like we spread the points because like they're in the skill, so you can get.
Yeah.
you spread them.
Here we
Also,
go.
Sam, sorry, disembodied voice. I sent you a whisper as well for when you get a chance.
Alrighty. Oh,
They've got athletics 4, marksmanship 2, fighting damage 5, marksmanship damage 1. So he's also a gorilla then, so he's more melee than ranged. Is that right?
I guess so. Sorry, I'm just replying. So
Oh.
Yeah, gorillas are more melee.
Oh man, why?
all right.
I think he could be a courier. It's just the fact that he's been established at the house.
Oh no. That's why is self-directed to me. Because what Oliver does is, as soon as he touches his saddlebag and shows no sign of taking his parlay, Oliver will smoothly reach for the haft of the halberd sheath behind his back and lean back on the horse and attempt to take off this swordsman's head as quickly and as swiftly as possible.
Cool. I want you to do it for me.
All right. Do you want me to roll a quickness test, or what do you want me to do?
No, what I want you to do is roll the attack for me and add +1 keep dice from the fact that you're just kind of like surprising this guy.
Oh man. Okay.
He's
so
kind of, his attitude. He's kind of got you in this casual kind of, nah, I just don't get it, mate. We make the rules here, and then he's like just going for the saddlebag. You've caught him at a moment where he's got like head down and like, ooh, gold, you know.
Okay. I think I'm doing this right. This is a lot of dice. Nope. What did I type wrong? There we go. Nope. That's a typo.
That's 19 dice.
Yeah.
Keeping 7.
31.
How are you keeping 7? You're using the keep dice.
You gave me a keep dice. I have 5, and I have expertise. So that's another keep dice. So that's 7. That's 7 I get to keep on my halberd.
Shit, hold on. All right. And with 2 6s, that's +4 to your base damage, I want to say.
Yeah.
It's not quite a killing blow.
Well, my base damage is with my weapon is 8 plus however many degrees of success +4.
I mean, this guy's gonna die. You take his head off.
Okay. So yeah, and so the idea here is very smoothly he lops off the man's head and doesn't kick his horse into a full trot. He just starts to move forward a little bit, and he calls out immediately to the archers, hoping that he can beat them to the shot. Please take me to your leader. I do not wish to do you more harm.
All right, what they're going to do is they're going to scarper, but they're going to kind of fire a parting shot as they do so. So I'm going to roll a couple of shots for them here, but but as raiders and fairly disorganized raiders at that, they are going to not the bravest of the brave. What do I do for this? All right, so this is going to be 15 versus your combat defense.
All right. My combat defense is an 10.
So 2 degrees of success. And it's going to be
I will use my nightly anointed to boost that up until the end of my turn.
All right, so actually you've got 50. I'll let that happen. You've got 15 as your combat defense. That is 1 degree of success. Okay. The first marksman, she just hits you with a 5 points of damage. Soak that with your armor resistance or your armor rating, and then apply any damage you want to your health. If you want to take any injuries or wounds, do so. Injuries, you can soak up another amount of damage equal to your endurance rank, and a wound you can ignore all of it.
the first arrow breaks in twain on his copper armor. He does not
Nice.
take a shot.
Cool. And then the second arrow again, just before they depart, is a 9. So they miss. It actually goes wide of the two of you as Red Rob charges up behind you. Is your intention here to try and ride these people down, or is it just to?
I mean,
kind of
yeah.
let them
If they're not listening, if they're not parlaying, then they will fall. And Red Rob, he'll look aside and he'll say, "Go for the one on the left."
All right, you do so, and you charge these two down, even up the hill. These horses are making a good pace, and I'm not going to even get you to roll because you just, even with the halberd, just down using it as a lance, just skewer the one in front of you. And Red Rob takes out some of the, like a knife or two from his belt, actually throws a couple, and it just gets one in the neck, and they fall down to the ground.
Rob, why did you not tell me you could throw a knife like that?
What?
That was amazing.
It was a lucky shot.
As I said, I think you are going to make a fine knight one day.
I don't think knights throw knives. Anyway, that was tense. Let's just get up there. Yeah.
Perhaps the next ones will listen better.
All
He
right.
sheathes his halberd.
We are, though, going to head back over to Alfred, actually. So just as Charlie pops back in. Alfred, as the late afternoon sun is setting over your view of the docks to the west, the window, Iseldis and 2 armed men wearing the armor and the yellow tabards before enter the room. They round up the 3 of you that are in here, waking the other 2, and they march you down towards the docks.
The docks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Through these narrow, winding streets, the architecture is familiar but foreign. Almost kind of Dornish to you in a way, but just slightly alien, just slightly different. The arched windows, the roofing, some of the twists and turns that in like a city that you really kind of feel out of place at. You see as well slaves in collars walking behind masters or pulling carts, fetching goods. As you walk through the docks, you also see a slavers' auction going on.
Shit.
And as you pass that to a more almost like a little training yard in a way that's on the edge of the docks, you are positioned out in the middle. It's not a huge yard, it's probably only about 20 feet square. There's a light sand underneath your feet, and you are placed in a line, almost in like a like you're being presented.
Yeah.
Almost in military style. There are steps in front of you, and this whole area is lowered down so that the street above is probably about 15 feet above in front of you. Walking down the steps, you see a tall, athletic man walk with black hair, a very thin, trimmed black beard On his tabard, he wears yellow colours again, with a red horse with black wings and fire snorting out of its nose. As he comes closer, you see the man has purple eyes, and he looks exactly like the warrior, lean, light, and tall. His armor looks well made, with grey steel and black rings, if a little plain looking. His shield displays the same sigil as well, a stallion, black dragon wings, on a golden field, snorting fire. His eldest curtsies, and the men either side of you that have marched you here knock your shoulder forward to indicate a bow.
Throughout all of this, Alfred is going to be helping his colleague who's got one leg. He's going to be carrying him the whole way, and with that, he'll, bow and help him to bow as well.
His eldest says, "Sir Bittersteel, my lord."
Alfred kind of looks side to side. Sir Alfred Wilde of House Greenmont.
Everyone turns to look at you. And it's his eldest who was speaking to Bittersteel. Bittersteel was regarding her. And Bittersteel walks up to you, this tall man, towers over you by about a foot, and says, "What?"
Sir Alfred?
Sir.
Alfred looks side to side. He's kind of like completely. He has no idea of court etiquette, really, and he's just. Yes.
Sir. A good catch, Isolde, if a little marked. Tell me again where you got these boys. And she describes how she picked you up from the Battle of Blackmont and brought you here to him to give him information on the situation in the Red Mountains. Who is this then? And he actually regards the other man who is with you, one of the vultures who you were attacking. He asks the vulture about who he is, what his business was in the Red Mountains, what his situation is. And it's patchy information. And he doesn't look very happy by this. You've never seen a more grumpy, intimidating man in your life. This guy exudes annoyance and mental exhaustion. He turns to your friend and he asks the same questions.
As he asks, Alfred's gonna kind of come up and he's gonna, "I was his commanding officer. I can answer any questions."
Be quiet. He looks back at the man. He says, "If war has taught me anything, it's that younger men will often say that to a superior. What was your business in the Red Mountains? What is going on there that we might take advantage of? If we have any foothold there, speak now, boy." And your friend glances at you
Alfred will give him a nod.
The guy describes your business down at Blackmont, and then that they were putting down this kind of Vulture King, in an attempt to anyway, to kind of stop raiders, and that's what they think. They originally thought it might be Blackmont, but it turned out that they were raiding actual Blackmont village anyway, so it was all a bit confusing. And then Isolde says, this is an opportunity, I think, my lord. It's quite possible that you could use this to your advantage. And he goes over to her and he says, Isolde, you have brought me nothing but boys and broken men. And in a roar and in an anger, he draws a sword, a red emerald at its hilt. It shines like nothing you have ever seen in the evening light, glistening off its beautifully folded metal. He slices your friend pretty much in two as this thin, extraordinary blade, Blackfyre, cuts through the last of your friends here. So, Sir Alfred, what of the Red Mountains? Is there opportunity there, or are you all wasting my time?
What is it that you desire to know? What opportunity are you looking for?
He snort laughs, but he doesn't smile. And he says, my boy, I desire the Iron Throne for his grace. And behind him, you haven't seen yet, but you hear the yelp of a young lad and a mother's voice just behind that saying, Aegon, what have you done? She speaks in a... she speaks... you get that impression of the words that she speaks, but you don't actually understand the language. She speaks in a strange, it sounds like Valyrian, but it's kind of a little bit broken and weird and wild in places, some of the inflections and intonations. Aegon turns to her and begins to have an argument with her as you regard the young Daemon II, a young boy. Actually, I hadn't quite researched this full bit yet in terms of him. But for want of description, you see a fairly young teenage lad, or probably not, kind of 8 or 9 kind of years old, just looking on at this carved dead body beside you, as the warmth of the evening and the flies begin to kind of come in and descend. And all he can do is stare at that and the blood on the tip of Blackfyre.
Alfred's going to stare directly at the boy. Half of him is probably covered in blood because he was holding. So he's just drenched in blood. And he's just going to stare at him.
Is there anything you'd like to get out of that? In terms of a role, a kind of empathy style thing? Or is there anything you're trying to, or you're trying to kind of almost intimidate him or get him to do something?
I think he's probably going to go more on the empathy kind of way. Just look at me, injured, covered in blood, and a one-legged man has just been cut in half for no reason. He's kind of going at that.
All right.
that approach. Yeah.
Cool. Roll awareness empathy for me. This is based on sight though, so you're going to take the -1 to the result.
Oh, fun. So I've got. It's gonna be fun. So roll.
That's just -1 to result, not to the dice.
Oh, good. Oh, good. I think I did that right. Hang on, let me just. So it's just awareness, yeah.
Yep.
So
So
7.
that will go down to a 7. Yeah, great. So yeah, I mean 6 is a fair kind of thing. It's kind of give you basic tell kind of information. Yeah, he's obviously horrified. This is the thing with princes and kings and stuff, is like knights are meant to be this kind of like the best thing to be.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
bitter steel here, this big athletic guy. This obviously he's the one to rule the kingdom kind of thing. And this was the whole thing with the Blackfyre rebellion. Is Daemon II, the current king on the Iron Throne, is very scholarly, very diplomatic, isn't a fighter. And it was Daemon, his half-brother, who was the more athletic, was the more handsome, looked like Aegon the Conqueror and wielded the sword. It is interesting to you, at the very least, even for a commoner, that Aegon Rivers is wielding the sword and not His Grace Daemon II.
Yeah.
This is going to get hella confusing.
I'm already there.
Yeah, it's interesting this young boy is not the proprietor of this sword.
Mm-hmm.
And he is hanging to his mother's coattails.
Okay. Alfred's just going to keep an eye on him. But he's going to stay silent. He's not going to pipe up, not after his friend just got chopped into.
The Iron Throne is the opportunity we seek. If there is any grounds to be made anywhere, if it's the Red Mountains, you would surely tell me.
Currently, the Red Mountains is a hostile place. There's a vulture king that I was hunting for. There's chaos at the moment.
Who is this Vulture King?
I don't know. That is what I was trying to find out.
It's not a lord. He's abandoned his place.
It doesn't seem like it. The men that follow him were merely just bandits. Nothing more. They would attack villages, defenseless villages, and sack them. That's what I tried to stop.
Where does Greenmont reside? Greenmont was in the Reach. And he's thinking back to his old alliances.
It is, yes, in the Reach.
The Dornish Marcher Lords. Defending the Reach. What is Greenmont's position now?
We are still a Reacher house.
That is no answer, boy. What is Greenmont's position?
And he kind of stammers, trying to think of what he means. In regards to what? I don't understand.
The crown.
They are loyal to the Iron Throne, I think.
You see the glisten of Blackfyre at his leg.
The Greenmonts fought for the Blackfyre not 3 years past. I was there at the Battle of Redgrass. I fought too.
And would you fight again, boy?
For the right cause.
This is the right cause.
I fight for my family, the
Who-
House Greenmont.
Your
Should
family.
should they decide to follow you, then I shall follow them.
Who is Lord of Greenmont at the moment?
Lady Marcia.
Lady
Currently
Marcia.
Yes.
And yet you are House Greenmont.
I serve House Greenmont.
No, you said you were House Greenmont. You fight for your family. Who is your family, boy?
The Greenmonts are my family.
Then what are you, some bastard?
Look down.
Don't worry, boy, you're in good company. He turns to Isildis and he says, show them to the camps. Have them put up a new cot. What do you do? Blade, spear, bow?
Bow.
Put him in with the marksman. And with a swish of a cloak, he leaves, taking his grace, his mother, back up the stairs. And we are going to head back over to Myria. Your rest is interrupted by two of the Vulture King's men coming over to your uncle and dragging him to his feet. He struggles and goes to fight them before meeting your gaze and slowing to a stop, before being pushed at the shoulder. The two of you, not roughly, but you are pretty much marched up from the Undercroft into the ruins proper and the large square tower where the vultures go to roost. It's dark, but the clear sky coming through the gaps in the roofs shines moonlight in, and candles and torches and sconces in one or two places dimly light the way. Surrounding the Vulture King is a vulgar court of drunken soldiers, each one paying little attention to you as you're led through the crowd. Before the Vulture King, in the centre of his court, just below his throne of stone and straw, atop a dais 12 feet high and with its sweeping ruined staircase. Welcome, the Vulture King says as he drinks from a scuffed silver goblet. The noise around you, a cacophony of drunken laughter and shouting conversations. They are quashed as people begin to pay attention to the proceedings. And now, Blackmont, Lady Greenmont, tell us about Summerhall. I've heard so much. I'd love to visit. The court laughs heartily, baiting for Targaryen blood. What do you answer?
I think Maria looks from the Vulture King to her uncle to Daira and back to the Vulture King. And she says, I don't know much. As a ward, they never really allowed me to see much. There's a complement of guard, obviously. There's the King's Guard there. Prince Maekar is in residence with his children and wife. I couldn't tell you about defenses or entrances or exits. It was all kept from me.
Blackmont, what are the defences? And even with his probing questions, your uncle doesn't reply. Oh, hang on a second. Yeah.
We're having a wobble.
We are having a wobble. Bear with us. I mean, it seems okay, but we'll wait a second because OBS is pretty poor at the moment.
Gotcha.
Getting back up there. I think we're back there. Quick confirmation from chat. Are we back?
Hope says we're back.
Excellent. Awesome. We've got some mega cheers in there. Did anyone catch any cheers or bits or anything? Did we miss something? Oh,
I
Mal.
have 2 bonus dice, I think.
2 dice. Yeah, 2 bonus dice. Thank you, Mal. That's amazing. All right. Keep a little note of that. And we're still going there, I think. All right. Fantastic. Let's go over that just one last time. So, yeah, the Vulture King inquires with Blackmont. He just calls Blackmont what the defenses are. He asks for the more specific soldiery type of things, and he keeps probing and prodding. Your uncle doesn't reply, as the Vulture King continues to ask him pointed questions about the size of the keep, the height of its walls, the location of its gates, the layout of its hall, until he finally replies, "You think you are the leader of men? You think these great houses will fall before your might? You cannot keep these men to the life they have been accustomed to. Look at them." He speaks to the whole court at this point. "He keeps you drunk, he keeps you hunting, but in the end, all he has to give you is the scraps left over by the greater houses. You are no real born leader. You are a carrion bird with nowhere to roam. If you are truly a leader in the form of the warrior himself, then challenge me." Your uncle spins, knocking into 2 of the men in the crowd nearby, and before you know it, has 2 daggers in his hands. And he is ready to defend himself.
Miria immediately screams, like, "No, uncle, what are you doing?"
Swords drawn all around you, but the Vulture King stands and raises a hand, outstretched before him, and his men are still. From beside his throne, he pulls a chipped warhammer from the straw, a great heavy thing with a twisted leather grip and a rough steel square head with a sharp chip taken out of one corner. He gets down from the steps and stands ready to fight your uncle. I want you to grab his stats.
Oh, fuck. Why are all the men attached to Greenmont women idiots? Okay, I have his thing.
Cool. All right. I want you to roll a agility test, please. Quickness bonus dice will apply, and you will reduce the result by his armor penalty.
Okay, so ooh, 18.
Nice. Yeah, cool. You took away the AP, and that taking away the AP is 6. So your uncle's going first.
Okay. Okay, so he has 2 daggers?
Yeah.
1 dagger, 2 daggers. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is where I am unfamiliar with combat because I'm an intrigue character and I didn't read those rules.
That's fine. Tell me what you want to do, and we'll figure it out. So there are things where you can do stuff like a standard attack. You can do a counterattack. So yeah, you can do something like counterattack, disarm, try and knock them down, try and knock them out. Two weapon attacks. So with a greater action, you can basically use both of the daggers, and you can get a bonus to the damage that's in the offhand property of the little entry.
Right.
So say offhand +1 for a dagger, and that will give you basically you can do a greater attack with like +1.
Yeah, let's go for that first because he's got the 2 daggers. So,
All right.
Let's go for a double stabby stab. Okay.
So make an attack.
Okay, an attack would be that's right at the bottom, right?
Yeah, should be the stats in there. So he's got a dagger or a knife in there, right? Cool. All right. So this is with both. So you're going to add the offhand bonus to the base damage.
Okay. Keep 4. That's 12.
It's going to hit 1 degree of success.
Sweet. Okay, so that's 2 damage. But we're
So-
adding the
You're adding the offhand property to it as well. It's base
Okay.
damage, so 3, I guess.
3, yeah.
Okay. So this guy is wearing kind of rough, very loose chain.
Mm-hmm.
So it chinks across his armor as he slashes across the guys in a kind of like a flurry of blows. This guy is going to try a standard attack. Mess about with this. And is fighting 40p. Boop.
Oh,
The Warhammer is 5 damage. And is going to do... So shattering 3. So let me just double check shattering. But I think it reduces his armor down by 3 when he hits. Shattering. Or staggering, whatever it's called in here. Oh, shattering, no, here we are. Whenever you get 2 or more degrees of success on a fighting test, you reduce the opponent's defensive bonus or armor bonus by the amount indicated by the quality. The shattering weapon affects the weapons with defense bonus first. Okay, so if he had a shield, this would apply to the shield first.
gotcha.
But he's not. So this was 21 against what's the combat defense?
9.
19 would be 3 degrees. So yeah, 3 degrees. This is 15 damage. And his armor, his AR is going to be reduced by 3.
So here's the thing. He has 9 health.
Cool. So he can take a wound and you can ignore all of that damage, or he can be defeated.
What would Blackmon do? He's an idiot, so he'll take the wound.
Cool.
I'm gonna draw out this horrible death in front of Maria.
Cool. Where does he take the wound? So
It's a hammer,
this
right?
big war hammer. Yeah,
Yeah.
two-hander. Old Baratheon style, like Bosch.
How about that he sort of like ducks his torso out of the way, but he catches his leg on the way down because he's got the gammy leg anyway that's
Yeah, yeah.
injured.
Crushes his knee.
Yeah. There's a big old pop.
All right. And with that, it's over to him.
Okay. Okay. I think we're gonna have him rush and try and take him down.
It's like knock him down.
Like knock him over, yeah.
Cool. Athletics test against passive agility. So roll me an athletics test. I'll have run bonus dice apply if he has any of that. No. All right.
And then he loses a dice because he has a wound.
So roll it and then drop it. That's it.
11.
Against passive agility? No.
No.
But not far off. Really not far off. It's annoying. Remember, you've got some bonus dice. Like, I think you've still got a bonus dice in hand.
Oh, yeah.
If
Can
you
I
really
apply
want
that
it.
to Uncle Blackmont?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to apply it to that roll?
Yeah, let's give it a go.
All right. Roll it. Get better than that. He's still. Hang on. He's still keeping. Okay.
Yeah.
He's still keeping 2.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it goes to like a 6.
Yeah. It was worth a
okay,
shot.
It was worth a good shot, but with his leg, he doesn't quite get the run off the mark, and he struggles to sprint forward and just kind of like poop, like he headbutts into him, but the Vulture King like stands firm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have. I think Blackmont, does he still have a destiny point?
Let me see.
He
He has
do.
1.
There you go.
Yes.
He should do. Then let's have a fighty again from him. 17. 2 degrees, I think.
Yeah.
So that will be 10.
Mm-hmm.
He can take a number. If he takes his 3rd wound, then he is out of there.
Mm-hmm. So I have a question with regards to Miria in this scene.
Mhm.
Can I know when we said that when he was being dangled over the cliff, that I could have used something to like step in, like a destiny point with Miria.
Yeah.
Could she do that to interfere, to save Uncle Blackmont if she can try?
Yeah, diplomatically.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So I'll treat this as like a simultaneous intrigue. So your turn in this is to do that. So yeah, I'll put you in before. Well, no, here. So Vulture King's at the bottom, isn't he? So I'll put you in the middle of the initiative.
Okay.
Where were we in that? I think it's.
He just went. Vulture King's just gone.
Yeah. So we need to resolve whether he wants to take the damage and be defeated, or wants to take the wound.
Take the wound.
All right. 2 wounds.
2 wounds.
Vulture King smacks him with the butt of the. And then pushes him forward and smacks him about the chin, his jaw cracking out of its socket. Then it would go up to him.
Okay, so he's all up in his grill. He's going to just try for the old stab.
So he can burn a destiny point now to... I think it's ignore. He can definitely ignore some wounds. I'm sure he can. Maybe not.
Okay.
I thought that was the thing. Never mind.
Never mind.
Sorry, Blackie. All right. What would you like to do?
I think he's just going to keep fighting to the very end. Because I don't think he's very fucking smart.
Oof.
So
as you wheel around this fight, trying to step aside, Daira tries to like pull you towards safety, actually towards the stairs, and opposite you can see where you're brought in, and that actually spills out into the yard and such. And bizarrely enough, you see the face of a ghost. You see the face of Sir Oliver standing on the other side, for the very back of the crowd, having just gotten into the keep. So Oliver, you're here, having slipped past the drunken guards outside through this gatehouse, kind of like built out of this rock, and then you are heading. You've head through the yard as you know, soldiers chase women or just lie drunken around. But you hear these screams and cheers of a fight inside, and as you just make your way into this like tower building, you see this court and this scene in front of you as Lord Blackmont is fighting against this man with a warhammer in the center of this court.
And Red Rob is with me.
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone seen us yet, or is nobody really paying us much attention?
No one's paying you any attention.
And I don't see Miria. I just see Blackmont fighting a man wearing no armor, but with a warhammer. Is that right?
Yeah, he is wearing armor.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's, for the sake of like the kind of cool description and stuff, he's like adorned with like this kind of rough chain and stuff, but adorned with these kind of black feathers around the like pauldrons and up on the head as well, that kind of thing. Let's have you roll a awareness notice test.
Okay.
I'll leave it down to dice to decide whether you see Miria or not. Difficulty 9. Oh, you don't see Miria, but she does see you.
he'll look around, knowing that if Blackmont's here, there's a good chance that Miri is here. And of course, in his head, it clicks. Of course, that's why they couldn't find them, that they're here with these bandits. He grabs Rob and he pulls him in close and he whispers to him, "Find my god's daughter. Quiet. Do not be seen. Go." And he kind of pushes him away because he knows that Red Rob has guerrilla training. If there's anyone who can be stealthy and have a chance at getting through and around this crowd without being seen, it's probably him.
No problem.
And if Red Rob goes stealthing off, then Oliver will draw his halberd and he'll begin to kind of push his way through the crowd towards the front. And if anyone tries to stop him, he'll call out, "Enough, enough."
Okay. It is now Blackmont's turn.
Mm-hmm.
Blackmont's going to continue fighting.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's what he would do. He's an idiot.
Stupid men.
He's stupid. Okay, so we're gonna go with the 2-weapon because he's right up in the Vulture King's grill. You know, like this is the perfect little rib step. But he has 2 wounds, so he's keeping 2 dice.
Cool. Okay, spending destiny points. You can gain a bonus dice. You can remove a penalty dice.
Ooh.
Just spend. It's not burn. That's just spend.
Mm-hmm.
You can burn it for converting all your bonus dice into test dice, adding +5 to your test result. Automatically succeed as if you'd roll the difficulty exactly. Remove all damage and injuries, but not wounds. Transform a character's successful test into a failed test. Or when defeated, decide the consequences of your own defeat, or again avoid certain death.
See. Usually, if there's 1 destiny point left, I would hold on to it for that one to make sure it not be a death. But this is an NPC. So I think we're gonna go for man, there's so many ones that would be useful. I don't know which is better, either to remove one of the penalty dice or to just the blanket +5.
+5.
The +5, yeah.
James in chat is going to scream at me if I didn't say that. It's the wargaming attitude. Definite penalty.
I mean, it's nice to fish for a crit, but the +5 is real nice.
Yeah, don't roll dice.
Yeah. Okay, let's spend that point to add that blanket +5.
Cool.
Okay, so it's 66. Keep 2 + 5. 17.
And 2 6s. I think it's a crit. It's good. Thanks, Roll20. Where was I? Where was the session? No, I'm here. Here we are. Combat defense of 10. Yeah, 2 degrees of success.
Sweet.
And 2 6s means that the base damage is +4.
Ooh.
So what is the damage?
So the normal damage for a dagger is 2 damage.
+1 for the offhand quality.
+1.
So that's
3.
So 7.
7.
14.
14.
Okay. Lord Blackmont stabs 1 dagger into the Vulture King's abdomen and then claws 1 into his neck and then brings the dagger up from the abdomen up through the sternum, and in some like God of War style finisher, cracks the guy into pushing him down in a spray of blood onto the back wall. He stands breathy as screams of the crowd go up, Vulture King, Vulture King, Vulture King, Vulture King, and Blackmont in his eyes as a 1,000-yard stare as he takes in this and raises a knife into the air with them.
Maria is kind of just shell-shocked by what she's seen and what is happening around her, and Oliver on his way in, and she staggers out towards Edmund because there's that, I saw you get smashed with a hammer twice, are you okay? But her movements are just like her whole head is ringing. She doesn't know what to do. She's making her way to Blackmont.
Okay. You stand by him. You stand by his you stand on the other side of his crushed legs. So he holds on to you for support at this point. Don, what do you want to do?
Oliver keeps pushing his way through the crowd. Is nobody paying him much attention? Is he able to kind of push his way up to the front?
No, people are starting to, as you're pushing your way, they see you with a halberd and they are grabbing hold of you. There are like 2, 3, 4 pairs of hands now grabbing hold of you.
How many people are in this group?
This has got to be like 30 people all stuck up into this small courtroom.
And how armored are the men who are grabbing at him? Are they armored?
Yeah, they're all wearing this like rough chain. They probably kip in it half the time. Like it's just This is the only clothing they've got.
Oliver will call out. He's about to basically fight his way through, and then he sees Miria appear at Blackmont's side, and his voice bellows out through this ruined hall. Blackmont! Blackmont!
And you can barely hear it over this cry of Vulture King, Vulture King. And we are going to head back to Marcia.
Hi, Sam.
Hi. I'm just bearing in mind the time because Tom had like me is like an old man and needs to get to bed soon. Okay.
I'm okay.
Oh, am I okay? Because you're all robot-y.
You're fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
you're all okay.
Oh, cool. All right. I was worried the Virgin Gremlins are coming again. Okay, so you are asked by Lady Crane to dress naked under a shawl, so that the old gods must see you at the ritual. And stepping into the night of the godswood, they see you indeed as the knotted eyes of the white weirwood tree stare at you, dry from blood this time, but stained red with sap around its open mouth, hungry for sacrifice. 1,000,000 eyes stare down at you from above, blinking, glistening in the night sky, as 100 candles line the edges of the godswood in nooks, crannies, and footholds. Mara, you're there with her as well, and Lana is on the periphery of the scene. And you help Marcia sit down as comfortably as she can on the soft grassy ground. It's cold, and you're cold from the breeze and the clear sky, wrapped in this ornate bedrobe. Before you, lit in this flickering candlelight, 2 goats are brought before you, and they are tied to the weirwood, close to one another. Lady Rosanna begins to speak in guttural, harsh tongue, the tongue of the first men and their old gods. The face of the weirwood tree almost smiles at you in anticipation, and the buck mounts the doe before you and begins to fuck it. As it kicks with its front legs on its doe, Lady Rosanna, still speaking in old words, clanging from her tongue, draws a knife and slits the throat the buck, and then that of the doe. With its blood drained out and its carcass lying warm on the ground, Lady Rosanna takes the knife and carves out the uterus of the doe and hands it to you. Eat, she commands.
I think that Marcia, although she's observed the butchering of animals for food, is slightly horrified, even as the tiny part of her that is Salastria is like, sure, this is fine, blood is good. And she stares at this organ that is being handed to her as these two kind of conflicting emotions are within her. And then she looks up to her grandmother and then to Mara. Unsure, hesitant.
Sure. Mara, did you want to come in at all?
Mara, I imagine, is sat there with Marcia, maybe kind of giving her something to lean on as she tries to sit awkwardly on this grass. And when Marcia looks up, she'll just look at her and says, "You do whatever you think is right, Marcia. If you want to leave, I'll take you back. But if this is what you want, you should do what you think is best. Even this can't guarantee anything."
But isn't that the point of it?
It is, but
And
the
she
gods
looks
work
back.
in strange ways. This is better than not doing anything at all. But if you don't want to, we can go back now to the keep.
And she glances around. Is Lana here as well?
Lana is on the periphery and is, like, not really having this. And she's turning to leave.
And looking once more to the two women who are staying, and then to that tree, she finds an ounce of pettiness in her that is like, you cried a lot of bloody tears at me, now you are going to watch me eat this. And she begins to eat the most disgusting thing she could imagine, this still warm, bloody mess that's been given to her.
It's incredibly tough meat and rubbery, and your teeth make little work of it. Keeping it down is the hardest part. And after a couple of gags from the back of your throat, you steel yourself. Lady Rosanna asks you to stand and recite with her. She leads you through a repetition of a strange language as she disrobes you, speaking to the stars, arms, book, and dagger outstretched. Charlie, you must now burn a destiny point.
Okay.
You are suddenly racked with pain. From your abdomen, your thighs, your pelvis. Your labour has begun.
I think with that level of pain, it kind of pushes that nausea on further, and she kind of nearly chokes as she gags as her stomach tries to clear itself. She bends over double, just gripping where the pain is coming from, trying to support it and ease it, and just looks terrified, has no idea what is happening. As far as she knew, this had to be done before the baby was born, but she didn't know it was going to cause the baby to be born, and she's now panicking. And I think she probably stumbles and falls because she's not particularly graceful in general,
Sure.
and just probably just falls down onto the ground.
Lady Rosanna looks to Mara and asks, "Get rags, cloths, anything you can, and bring water, fresh water as much as you can." And you, on this robe in the Godswood, as she kind of sets you down there again, it really is, because you're going through labour straight away, is the just safest place for you to be, because you're just here. We don't have to. She doesn't have to move you or anything like that. So we're going to do this in 3 steps, 3 stages of the birth. So going through the labour, there's a few hours of these agonising contractions. I'm going to need you to make an endurance stamina test for me, please, to endure the contractions. The difficulty is going to be 9. And just remind yourself about what you can spend in terms of destiny points and what you can burn.
Yep, I'd like to use one of the bonus dice that Mal gave for this, please.
Well Built has given a destiny point to Marzia, by the way, in chat.
Nice.
Oh, thank you, Pope. So you said this was endurance, correct?
Yeah, endurance stamina. Yeah.
I don't have any stamina, but I'm going to throw in that bonus dice.
Spending a destiny point as well. Not burning, it's just spending for the, probably be, and you're at a milestone anyway, so you're going to, I think, get it back pretty soon, and we are at penultimate, like the finale, so spending will get you a bonus dice as well if you wanted to. Burning, you could just succeed.
That's
If
fine,
you
I already
wanted to.
succeeded.
Oh, hello. Very nice. Okay. So you work with Grammar Crane to get through the labour, get through these contractions. By the time the delivery rolls around and you're dilated enough, Lana is gone, but you hear a cry and a snarl from behind Lady Rosanna, and Salastria has managed to break free from her bonds and has come into the Godswood. She snarls at Lady Rosanna, who is backed into a corner. She growls, bares her teeth at Mara. Mara, what do you do?
Quick question for Charlie. Has Mara been around Salastria before? Have you always...
Yeah, you would have met Salastria when Marzia first came to the house during her engagement to Lan.
So I imagine that Mara is holding on to Marzia's hand, like sat beside her, and she won't move, but she'll make an obvious display of holding Marzia's hand, knowing how close this cat is to Marzia, in a very, I'm not here to hurt anybody. She's not going to move and back away because she doesn't want to leave Marzia, but she's going to try and look as unthreatening as possible.
It doesn't matter to Salastria as she bears down on you, and her claws ready to go at you.
Mara doesn't want to leave Marzia. She doesn't want to leave her on her own.
I think Marzia would call out to Salastria. She'd actually release Mara's hand to reach out towards the cat, not having much energy to be focusing on talking to the animal right now, but just trying to get the physical connection.
Yeah. This cat moves a little bit. You can feel that it takes that affection, and it kind of reciprocates in its body language, but it is still kind of like big and bearing, and it's moving round, and it's still snarled. You can hear those kind of noises and the kind of hisses as it stares you down. Marzia, make me a animal handling charm roll. All right. That's all right. 11's not bad. So
I have animal handling trained, but not charm, unfortunately.
That's okay. But with that, you managed to.
It is my animal cohort, though. So
Yeah. What do you want? What do you want to do with Salastria?
I think she just wants Salastria to just sit and wait.
Yeah.
Just
all right.
A sit command maybe comes out.
Yeah. So on the other side of you, you've got Salastria, who curls round you for the remaining kind of half an hour towards the end of your labour. Mara on the other side. But now we come to the delivery. I would like you to roll an endurance and apply the strength bonus dice from athletics if you have any, with a difficulty of 15.
Remind me what spending does, sorry?
Spending, you can get a bonus dice. You can convert a bonus dice into a test die.
I would like a bonus dice because I only have 2 athletics and I have no strength.
This is a endurance strength.
Oh, endurance strength.
Yeah, I'm combining.
That's slightly better.
I'm
Okay.
pick and mixing them a little bit, but there's this endurance and any strength bonus dice you have from athletics.
All right, so I will spend destiny point to get a bonus dice.
Okay.
Which means I'll roll 4 dice, keep 3.
Yeah, and I'm going to give you from your animal cohort the +1 modifier from Salastria.
Okay.
Even though it's
So that'll
normally
be
fighting,
12.
I think this applies. But it's
12.
a 12. You are going to take a wound.
Okay.
And now we get to learn. I would like you to roll on the table, please.
Roll.
Mm-hmm. I'd like you to roll. It's a boy. And you hold in your arms a little baby boy, blue in colour, having just been born. A little bit of a mess, but crying, which is a good sign. Breathing. A healthy little baby boy. But there's something else, something's wrong. And you still have a child to bear. I would like you to make another endurance test for me, please.
I do not have enough Prosecco in this glass.
With any strength bonus dice. You're going to be at a -1 dice because of the wound. But if you spend any more remaining destiny points you have, you can remove that penalty. I
have 1 destiny point left.
This is going to be difficulty 12 rather than 15.
Alright, I want to use the last bonus dice from Mal.
Okay.
I'll spend that destiny point to get rid of the penalty.
Okay.
So I will be rolling again at keep 3, roll 4.
It's a 3, 2, and a 1. Wow. Okay. You're going to take another wound.
Okay.
So you have not died. Because your endurance is 3, right?
Correct.
Well, so then you should have rolled another dice. You're rolling 4, keeping 3.
Dice. Oh, it did it wrong, I think.
It's endurance. Roll 1 more dice for me.
Yeah.
1, so same result. Okay. So yes, but you haven't died. You have got 2 wounds, but you have 2 boys. A boy given to you by the gods. And as we leave Marzia with this scene, we also think back to Alfred, now across the narrow sea, another son away from home, of Oliver trying all he might to scream after Myria under the screams of the Vulture King, and Mara looking on at these 2 healthy boys born of House Greenmont.
Oh, have you
We have a
seen
song.
my boy, good sir? His hair is chestnut brown. He promised he'd come back to me.
You guys can't hear it, I'm sorry.
Our home's in Wendish town.
The maiden pled the tragedy hers, her cheeks the tears did stain. Her face was tired and drained of glee. Her form was racked with pain.
Oh, on a misty morn,
On a misty morn, the maiden fair with oily hair asked only for her son. The good sir with his head bent low did whisper
That
mournfully.
is our finale. Here we go. Let's just go around very quietly and check in with everybody. Charlie, you okay?
That happened.
That did happen.
Yes, I am good. Just for confirmation,
Good.
I am processing also.
That's fine. But you're good. No.
Yes, I am good.
Cool.
Have a lot of emotions right now, but I am good.
Yeah, absolutely. But I loved how, to segue over to Virginia, we brought you back to Fox Hollow. It wasn't quite the surprise I was hoping it would be.
Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Mara is home. She now has 4 brothers. 4 brothers.
I didn't have any a little while ago.
What did she started with to begin with? Yeah, and you know her husband's super bi, but also does actually care about her. She still gets a happy marriage.
Yeah, that means he's going to die, right?
I mean, probably he's an idiot,
Because he's
but
still
you
like
know, it's fine because she now has 4 brothers.
wholesomeness. Oh, there we go. Yeah. And Tom.
Could I be further away from everyone else? I mean,
you could.
technically I could, couldn't I? I do like the whole buy one get one free kind of deal with the old guards. That's kind of cool. I'm just wondering
I'm a little
the
concerned
cost.
what the price of that's going to be.
Yeah, I'm terrified of the price.
Yes. Sorry, I have forgotten. Charlie.
Yes, boo.
Marzia is going to take the cursed drawback.
Oh, I should have shut my mouth, really, shouldn't I?
I would have brought it up. Sorry.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, it's meta at the moment, but Marzia's going to take the cursed drawback.
Yeah.
Any destiny points you spend or burn, you have to roll a d6. If you roll a 1, doesn't happen.
And we know how Roll20 loves us, so you know.
Mm-hmm. There we go. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
How was
I'm
that?
generally confused of what Alfred's going to do now. I'm stumped.
I was like, I don't know how I'm going to make this work. Oh, wait, no, I know. I'll put him in with the with Aegon Rivers and the Blackfyres.
Fuck. Sure, why not? Sure. Now, this Alfred, this is going to be interesting. I got an idea on on a few ways Alfred could go. I've got to think, but yeah, I'm
cool.
excited to play with season 2. Yeah.
Sweet. We're going to have a bit of time as well to talk about where everyone is as characters and kind of what we want them to be doing, what their goals are, but not necessarily what just their goals are, what we want them to kind of happen maybe, or, you know, we can explore all that kind of stuff. I'm honestly still quite not sure what I'm going to do in terms of that plot line, but I just think it's such an interesting circumstance to put him in that it's going to be a lot of fun. Well, let's fade over to Don and Susie, who we haven't concluded yet, which is
So close.
which is kind of nice. But I also wonder if going into season 2, there is always that feeling, isn't there, going into a different season, of that little bit of time passing.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if maybe we discuss and resolve what happens that night for those characters,
Mm-hmm.
and then season 2, maybe we've set up a circumstance people watching discover where they are, and then we actually figure stuff out from there. Or we can, I don't know. Or we can pick straight back up. I don't know.
I think we'll figure it out.
Yeah. But how was that?
I could cry, but it was great. I'm okay, but I could cry.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm very ready for whatever happens next. I'm ready to I think Oliver is exactly, maybe not quite where he wants to be, but he's not backing down from his goals, and even though they haven't been reunited, he does have eyes on his god's daughter, and that is an important day for Oliver.
And let's just props to Uncle Blackmont for once again kicking ass just before Miria steps in to help him.
He like just brought it out, didn't he? Right at the end. I have had to like kind of have a word to myself, because there are things I would love to happen, and Blackmont becoming the Vulture King was pretty early on always something I was like, this is how I want it to go. I'm really glad the dice did the work. I'm really glad the dice did that. I was prepared for him to die and just be like, well, where the fuck do we go from here? But this could be really cool, I think. I don't know what else to say really about the game. Catch up. Are we doing an after the fire?
I mean, I'm down for it if you folks are.
Yeah. Well, not now.
Not
yeah.
right now, no. But I feel like there's a lot to be discussed.
Yeah.
Things might have happened this episode. It was one hell of a finale. And I'm actually going to lose it in this month between seasons. So it's a month.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. There's a lot going on though.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
We'll come back in August, and behind me will just be like one of those red string walls, and I'll be covered in tinfoil, and I'll be like, I have theories.
Someone ages ago said, I wonder if Blackmont is the Vulture King.
Mm-hmm.
You're correct.
For a while.
A similar story happened in another state. Yeah, it's like, you know, Jonathan Frakes turns up, tells you you're right for 40 seconds.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Awesome. All right. Well, while just the two of you are sat here, I'm going to bang on about my game, the Spy game. So we're kickstarting it right now. It's live. We're about 9 to 10k. I haven't been looking at it, and I feel awful because, like, Don was talking to me about it earlier. Like, you get obsessed. This is like the weirdest, like, 36 hours of my life. Like, it feels like the longest and yet the shortest. And I have to keep reminding myself that we're only 2 days in. So we're doing really well so far. We're about halfway funded. We're just over halfway funded, in fact. We've got loads to meet in terms of stretch goals. We've got loads to offer for people. At the moment, we've got the core book, the like collector's edition Kickstarter exclusive book up for grabs, and all the pledges there. If I'm sure James is throwing, or Susie, you're throwing the link in chat there for me. Head over there if you haven't already. Check out the game. Even if you pledge for the PDF or something like that, every single bit helps. And we want to work with everyone. We want to work with you guys to make the game as awesome as it can be. If you want to see it in action, then I'm running it on Monday on ItMeJP channel. For those in the UK, it's probably going to be a bit late for you lot because it is like 12:30 a.m. Monday night, Tuesday morning, and that's a 4-hour game as well. We're going to be going over some stuff.
That's 7:30 Eastern for anyone trying to do the conversion the other way.
It is. Thank you, Charlie's disembodied voice. So I'll be playing it on that with some really cool folks, and then I'll be on Pro Restarter's channel, where Charlie is on I want to say Tuesday.
I was on Tuesday. Unfortunately, we had our finale this week, and my time Pro Restarter's channel for now is done, but the Drama Club is still there. They are still running some awesome games.
Oh my god, you got tinfoil hat on.
I do have my tinfoil hat on, so please do go and support Pro and check out Sam's obviously playthrough of Spy Game over there. Pro is great in any game, and I'm super excited to see the kind of disaster spy that it brings to the table.
Yeah. So I'm playing with them on a Tuesday next week, and then I'm in the talks with Don and the folks over at Tales from the Grim to appear. So we're trying to work something out there as well. I don't like to be super secret about stuff like that. I'm just like, yeah, we're talking. We'll figure it out. I might be there. And the campaign's got...
We hit 50% on the campaign, which means I will be running a fun shot over on the Discord. So all the more reason to get in that Discord if you're not there. It will be open to everyone who is around whenever I decide that we're doing it. So there's that.
And we do have a link as well. Let me grab that for people very quickly. Oh god, if I can even...
Can confirm of someone who got press ganged into playing, because I hopped in the channel. It was very fun. I got to be my vampire, so it was great. Don't feel like you'll necessarily be constrained by the actual game.
Like you got to play like the freaking vampire, right? Good stuff.
And Charlie does a very, very good impression of Sam and James.
You're going to have to reprise this impression, now. I was a cat.
Sam was a cat.
I was a cat. I was a giant.
You were Sophia.
I was a giant Sophia.
Kind of going back to this game a tiny bit, I had this pink headband ready for when it was a girl, and it wasn't a girl.
Need to wear that one after the fire now. All right, folks. There we have it. That was our season finale. Thank you so much for bearing with us with the technical difficulties. I don't know how I'm going to export this video. It's going to be a fucking nightmare. But look out for the news of when we'll be starting up again. We will be starting a season 2. Everyone's really keen. And we'll be doing something, hopefully in August when the Kickstarter's done and we're back from Gen Con and everyone's back and knowing what's going on. So until then, my friends, I will figure something out on this channel. But until then, we'll see you all soon. Thank you so much for watching.